Don't forget, chat. Mariska out, man. There we go.
I hope you enjoy that 5-minute timeout, Ahmed. Trolls Control 2. Big up every single one of you. How is everyone doing? Big up the chat. Big up every single one. Thank you once again for your patience as I am coming here from work. Big up every single one of you. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here. I'm accompanied by the starting panel of Real Chris, Scott, and myself, Casually FC. Sorry, this heat has got me all frazzled. And yeah, we're getting through it, guys. But you guys already know what to do. Like I said, check out the links in the description. Be sure to also check out the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. And as always, ladies and gents, like I said, smash up the like and subscribe. I'm losing my mind. How you guys doing today? That's chat. Not chat. Oh my god, the panel. How are you guys doing today? I'm all fucked up.
Like you said, it's very hot for me as well. Like this room is on fire for me. But yeah, pretty good. But yeah, the heat can fuck off now, I think. But we got a heat wave still going.
Yeah, it's pretty hot.
Some bad news there, I guess, with Chelsea as well.
Yeah, we'll definitely get to all.
A little bit good and a little bit bad. I'll say that.
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I have a.
I'm getting by the heat. Crazy, man.
Alright, at least you finished on that one.
Yes. Let's just go ahead and get the show started because there is a lot to talk about. A lot has been going on. I've been trying my best to catch up with everything.
Is there a lot to talk about, really, though? Is there a lot to talk about, though?
There's plenty to talk about.
Talk about where
you're interrupting the flow of the show, so I'm just gonna get into it. Let's go ahead and start off with the very first thing.
Bring up now. And get me a sabun.
This guy doesn't know how to mute his fucking mic. Let's start off with the first thing that I'm sure Scott's gonna love: Fofana drama. So a lot of shit has been going on in terms of drama around Fofana, which I think it's really stupid, but let's just go over it, just get it over with, and just, you know, clear up the air. So Fofana changes display picture or profile picture on Instagram to this, and as a result, the Chelsea fan base lost their mind, saying, oh, he's going to Marseille, he's flirting with Marseille, yada yada yada, not knowing that this is just a shirt that says Marseille. I don't think it's a particular kit or jersey or anything. And a big up Pete. And yeah, so obviously the fan base being what it is, losing their minds, and Fofana clearing up. This is not a Marseille football team jersey. It's just a t-shirt with the name of the city I was born in and I am proud to represent. Again, not really sure why this caused such a upstir. Obviously the fan base looking for something to get upset with Fofana about. And if Fofana comes out with I think it was a tweet that he deleted afterwards, clearing up, saying, I'm a Chelsea player and I'm proud. I don't want to go anywhere. I'm happy here. Thanks. Is that clear enough? This is basically another picture of him as well as a kid who was wearing the Chelsea kit, which we kind of knew about prior to him joining the club. But yeah, I think it's a bunch of nonsense, obviously. But I mean, guys, what do you think about this whole thing? Do you think of the drama?
I didn't know what happened.
Merited? Is it a merited reaction, you think, Chris?
You know the Chelsea fans, like, they see something on Instagram, they go with it, like, oh my god, he's coming to this club, or oh my god, he's gonna leave. But yeah, I don't even know what happened. I don't do Instagram either, so yeah. Nah, I wouldn't be that bothered if he left or stayed anyway, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of us.
I don't know why Chelsea fans would be that worried. He only played, what, like 15 games this season? Like, if he could leave? Like, if we can move him on, I'd probably do it anyway.
Yeah. Chris, not Chris, Pete, you think the same thing? Just overreaction from the fan base?
Who cares, man? He's not fit enough to be on the pitch to matter anyways.
That's also true. It's also true. Ahmed, anything trolly you want to say to this?
Yeah.
There it is.
Oh, he's on mute too. To top it off.
Oh, I don't know if he meant to be on mute. I'm going to let you unmute if you want to unmute, Ahmed. I'm not going to touch that. But your mic's not coming through. Because you're a fraud.
Oh, you broke his mic.
Yep. There you go.
Broke it.
There you go.
All right, Ahmed can't talk. This is perfect. We're just going to pretend that he said something
quiet.
and we're going to skip him, okay?
Yeah. You know, I think I read his lips. He said something along the lines that Casually FC is the best platform on YouTube, and we have the greatest panel, and I'm not worthy of being on his panel, but Marshall's so nice, he likes to have me on. So, there you go. Yeah, that's what he said, ladies and gents. So,
I don't know if
I'm catching up with the comments.
I don't know what a neck pillow is.
Yeah. I was surprised when I met Pete, he didn't have a neck pillow, man. I was like, what the hell?
Why are
Where's
you
the neck
crying
pillow,
about
bro?
Fofana? I didn't even know this was news. I'll be real with you.
I didn't
even know. I didn't even know this was news.
Do we want to even call it news? It was kind of one of those things, like, I kind of want to address it and then
Listen,
nip
all
it
I
in the
care
butt and
about,
move on.
listen, I'm just want to know how much they get for Fofana at this point. I'm not even. That's the real question. How much we gotta get for Fofana?
How much do you guys think we could get for Fofana? Let's be honest,
Like
actually.
50, maybe 55.
50?
I don't think you're gonna get 55. Probably 30,
No, you could
35,
you
40.
could 100% get 50. Like if it depends, right? Because it all depends on whether a club is willing to take a chance on the injury stuff. Because when it comes to ability, like he's definitely worth 50, considering he's still only like 21, 20, or like 22, I think actually.
Is he really? I thought it was like 24.
Yeah, he
He's
joined.
24.
I was gonna say he joined Leicester when he was like 20, I think, or like 19.
Yeah.
No,
He
he's
was playing
24.
in France for Saint Etienne at 18, like with Saliba. So,
We're definitely not going to get that amount from Marseille, I don't think.
That's
No,
a
no, no.
lifetime ago, man. At this point, though, Scott, with all due respect, that's a lifetime ago. man.
Does anybody in that league beside PSG like have money to give?
Maybe Marseille, but even Marseille at Bush is like not got that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yes,
man.
I
Like,
know.
don't even know.
Like they probably do have the money to spend on him, but it's whether they whether they want to spend on him with needing other players, if they need other players.
I mean, it is what it is, man. If he goes, he goes. If he doesn't, who cares?
Yeah. No, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm not neither here nor there. I kind of threw away the Fofana hopes and dreams last season when, one, he went against the managers and the medical team's recommendations on his injury, and two, again, got re-injured. So, yeah. Let's move on from Fofana. Let's move on to the next topic, which I think me and Pete are going to be able to kind of attest to as well. And that's in reference to player welfare. And that's, again, in terms of the Club World Cup. So let's actually talk about this. And this is Ahmed's also favorite topic. So Chelsea players are set to receive the mandatory minimum of 3 weeks rest, return to Cobham for preseason training around August 5th, with 2 friendlies scheduled with Leverkusen on August 8th and AC Milan August 10th. Now, continuing on from that, Enzo Fernandez came out with some comments saying that he has told FIFA they need to alter their kickoff times for next summer's World Cup in the U.S., with the Argentinian insisting this Club World Cup has been very dangerous for everyone involved due to baking temperatures. Now, me and Pete have been to, Pete, did you go to any of the games over in Cali?
Nah, man. They had Atletico Madrid and PSG on Father's Day, so I wasn't gonna go for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
so
do I want to take my dad to this? Nah, I'm good.
yeah, you went to the Palmeiras game. I went to the Tunis game, which was probably one of the hotter ones on the East Coast.
What temperature was it?
It was at the peak. It was 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Towards the evening, when the game kicked off, it ended up dropping to about 98, maybe 96, which is still really hot for a night game. So I guess in terms of that, especially because not all the stadiums here in the U.S. are SoFi or the Mercedes-Benz, which are closed roof, air conditioning and all that.
I think next season, by the way, not next season, I think the World Cup had a look, they've got a lot more closed roof stadiums. So like they've got I think there's one in Texas that they're using. It's got closed roof. They've got, I looked it up the other day, like they've got a lot more closed roof stadiums. But I'll be honest, like Can I just say something? There's two things with this.
Yeah.
Number one, they never move in the times because it would make it it would stop, at least for some games, European fans from watching if they don't go, which they won't do. And secondly, all of this, the heat is so tough. I hope these players are ready when they have to play at altitude at the Estadio, what's it called? The Azteca in Mexico. I hope you're ready for that. To play at altitude. Then you can complain. Like,
I mean, listen, I think
this is what comes with playing in different countries, bro.
Yeah, but listen, at the same time, Spot, like, I think they do have a right to complain. You can obviously cook them if the complaint's trash or anything, but listen, playing in heat, and obviously then if there's any humidity involved with the heat as well, is a killer. You know what I mean?
When it gets past 30 for me, it's a killer.
Bro, it's fucking 30 already in my room, bro, and I'm dying. So, you know what I mean? The point I'm trying to make is that, like, listen, for these guys, it's not necessarily the heat that's gonna hurt you. It's the humidity alongside the heat, which is really the problem, right? And so when you're playing at, maybe let's say you're playing at 3 p.m., you know, the sun's obviously not at its highest point, but it's semi at its highest point. Then you've got the humidity alongside of it, bro. And you're doing stuff at full speed, full strength. You know what I mean? Full everything, bro. It does affect you, bro. You know what I mean? It does affect you, right? And so if they're playing, for example, somewhere where it's less humid, right? Then I think, you know, I think then the leeway that they have, I think for me, is a bit lost. Obviously, playing at altitude is always going to be difficult. We all know about that. You know what I mean? So, listen, I think what I always say is just we need to make sure. One of the things that we have to give Qatar credit for, unironically, is that they did do a good job of making sure the stadiums were somewhat cool to allow the players to play. Mm-hmm. So you want to hope that obviously in the World Cup they can, by within 1 year, they can start at least having stuff to help mitigate that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to an extent, I do get it. I think once you're hitting like the 100 degrees, 98 degrees, we're starting to step into more dangerous territory. You know, lower 90s, upper 80s. Like, yes, I get it. Like, kind of.
But the pitch.
Wow, 100 Fahrenheit is 38 degrees. That's
part of the problem. Yeah, part of the problem for me is that obviously
that's how hot it was in the game, Chris.
There's the regular, like, you know, if I'm just walking down the road, this is the temperature, right? But like when you're the way these stadiums are usually built, bro, it's like this, right? So essentially, the pitch temperature usually is going to be a bit more hotter usually than even what you're getting in the stadium usually, right?
It can be.
Right. So that's why, like, again, I just come back to these guys need to make sure whatever's in the city that they kind of improve some of the stuff that's on the pitch to allow there to be better cooling temperatures, if that makes sense, right? For these players to play in. That's all it is.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, if it's like, I want to say 95 or lower, and even that might be a little harsh, I do also agree with what Scott's saying. Like, you get paid enough money. You get 2 cooling breaks in there. Like, I've played in that heat. It's not pleasant, but at the same time, it's doable. It's doable, and you have African teams that are gonna be coming into the World Cup. Teams from, you know, closer to the equator that are gonna come into the World Cup, that they're gonna be just fine. You know, we can't just bend the rules for the convenience of other countries that aren't used to that temperature. Like, if we were playing in colder temperature, are we gonna say like, oh, we should play in warmer temperature for the countries that aren't used to the cold temperature? You know, like. But
I have to disagree with that, because the vast majority of World Cups are played in summer temperatures.
That's
right?
actually crazy.
So, right, the vast majority of temperatures, right, in the World Cup are usually around about, I'm going to use degrees Celsius.
How long for you?
Like 15, 20, like 25, right? So there's still this. It's not hot. It's not necessarily too hot. It's not necessarily too cold, right? And again, I think obviously this conversation that we're having here, a lot of these players that are talking about this are probably playing in Europe, right? Again, it's always cold there, roughly. It's always mild temperatures, right? When it gets hot here, it's about humidity more than it's at the actual heat itself. And so I just think it's about, again, as I said before, just making sure the stadium services are good enough to make sure, you know, we're all playing a fair playing field. That's all it is. They don't really care what the players say. It's just about making sure the stuff in the stadium is doing its job. Because that's what Qatar did really well. They made sure their stuff was working properly, and there wasn't that much complaints about the heat.
Also, at the end of the day, like the issue here as well. Well, there's a few issues. Number one is, like I said earlier, like Pete just made a comment on the thing. It's Eurocentric. Like I said, if we're looking at solutions, one of the solutions is, okay, play the games later. Cool. So you're going to have at least 2 games, because if you look at how they did with Qatar, it was 4 games a day, wasn't it? And that was with less teams, by the way.
It's going to be more.
4 games a day. It was like, what was it? It was like 10 for UK. It was like, wasn't it 10, 2,
10,
or like
2,
10, 12,
6,
2 and something else.
and either 10 or 9.
Cool.
Like
so what we're saying is, if we push all the games back to have some in the evening, that means for people in Europe, you're getting a game probably around midnight and a game at 2 a.m. They're not doing that because no one's watching those games, especially if they have work the next day.
Sorry, Pete, Adam, you had some background noise there.
That was a Pete.
So they're not doing that. They're just not doing that. With how, they're not the right words are to use it, but with how like snobbish, I suppose, for lack of a better term, they are when it comes to like Europe, especially with how like they're the biggest teams in terms of internationally most of the time. So they're going to be like, and they're the ones who provide the most money as well. Like, just to put it bluntly, they're going to be who gets listened to. The other thing as well is, there's the other 2 answers is, don't play it in that country, which is stupid. Like, you're just depriving 3 countries of the ability to host the World Cup, which they're well within the right to do. And it's also the only 3 countries in that region, in terms of in CONCACAF, that can host the World Cup, that have the actual like the infrastructure to host the World Cup, and you're completely depriving the whole nation or whole region because of it. That's stupid. Thirdly, and this probably is where you can say it is a little bit on FIFA, play it in stadiums that are designed for football and are designed to help these players in terms of, like, for example, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, it's closed, it's air-conditioned, fantastic. SoFi Stadium's a little bit different because that's not, I think that's an actual football stadium, American football, I mean. But like play it in these stadiums that are designed for this. The fact they're playing it in what's it called, like the Rose Bowl, that's cool and all. Like, that's sweet. It's a huge open air like bowl.
Yeah. No shade at all whatsoever.
Because you know what they're not going to do, because it's same capacity. They're not going to play it at the what the fuck's it called now? I think it's Bank of America Stadium. They're not going to play it there because the Rose Bowl is huge in comparison. They're not going to play it.
They're going to play at SoFi.
Or that as well. They're not going to play it Dignity Health Sport Park or whatever the fuck LA Galaxy Stadium's called. They're going to play it at SoFi at the Rose Bowl because it's huge.
So SoFi, when it was getting built, there was some issue with the original width of the grass surface that Kroenke wanted to build, right? FIFA was saying you have to build the playing surface wider so we can remove some of the 100 level seats and have the World Cup here. Otherwise, you guys won't get the World Cup. It will go to the Rose Bowl. But so SoFi is going to have it in LA. The only reason I think they had the Club World Cup there was just the easy cash grab. They figured even at 110,000 seats, if we are 2/3 full, that's still almost 75,000 people.
Yeah.
Which I think is more than the capacity that SoFi has anyways. So,
Oh my God. I've just seen the capacity for SoFi and what it can be expanded to. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How much? Share
it's 70,000. It can be expanded up to 100,000.
Holy shit, I didn't know that.
That can be expanded number won't be reached. The reason they're have to limit 70 is because they have a lot of seats that actually go like on the floor and around the actual like NFL playing field when it's there.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, so they probably need to limit that just for pitch invaders.
Yeah. Also, like
that.
I'm having a look, by the way, at some of these stadiums. Like, for example, and this is why I don't think it'll be an issue. AT&T, they're going to be playing in. That's roofed. NRG, that's the stadium I couldn't remember in Houston. Roofed.
Yeah, that's indoors.
Mercedes-Benz is already fine so far. We've mentioned. Where else have we got? We've got
Seattle's not going to be a
really
problem weather-wise. Like, I'm going to look up the weather
Yeah,
for Seattle right now.
Seattle won't be a problem. I don't think it's going to be a problem weather-wise, but in case it is, BC Place is basically almost entirely roofed in Vancouver.
Yeah,
that's fine. The Estadio BBVA in Monterrey, like, it's got things coming. This is the issue. Like, this is the issue with the Club World Cup in comparison to the World Cup. I'm looking at all the stadiums being used. Do you know what most of the stadiums being used in the World Cup have over the stadiums being used in the Club World Cup? They're actual fucking football stadiums. So they have cover on all sides. Like, the only ones that don't are Levi Stadium, the Lincoln Financial Field, and that's it. Oh, and Arrowhead, and then MetLife. 4 stadiums out of the however fucking many.
So
it's not an issue.
if we really are worried about weather, right? FIFA's kind of between a rock and a hard place. There's a very easy decision they could make, but it would be financially unpopular, I would say, right? So for Philly, for Miami, for MetLife, and for Kansas City, we're probably going to need to have the games at night. Because I do hear it. It does get hot as shit in those places. We're also in thunderstorm areas where that pretty frequently happens. You guys hated the Club World Cup delays. That's completely fine. But what I'm saying is you pretty much can't have the games between 12 and 6 p.m. local time, which takes you out of the weather window, but that doesn't really provide you a very large window for playing the game and getting the European audience, which is what FIFA wants. So they're either going to have to play a lot of matches simultaneously and have a couple windows for viewership, or they're just going to have the East Coast games kick off at like 9-10 p.m. local time and kind of deal with it and lose that European window.
And Peter, I'm having a look here. They're not going to do that, and I know they're not going to do that because the final's in New Jersey, and that will be a what? Like, what's the final? What time's kickoff? What's
So that'll be noon for me, 8 p.m. UK for you guys.
Yeah.
What on Sunday? What time is
3 p.m. Eastern.
Local time kickoff?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, there you go. And it'll probably be the same for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So
right in the thunderstorm time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. P pointed out something that was when we were talking at the Philly game. He pointed out something that I completely overlooked, which is there is a significant window in which weather gets unpredictable in terms of thunderstorms and humidity storms here in the East Coast, and that is that window of like 5 to around 7. It's usually around like sundown time, and that's usually when you get these random thunderstorms in the East Coast just because of the amount of humidity buildup that happens in the East Coast.
Like, for example, when I flew into Philly on Thursday night, I landed in a thunderstorm. But by the time I got to my hotel, 45 minutes later, it was over. And there was no more rain for the rest of my trip. There was no clouds or anything. Like, they just kind of come and go. But if you want to try to play between like 5-6 p.m. local time, you're taking everybody's health and safety into your own hands. You're begging for a lightning delay.
By the way, is Kansas City really that bad in terms of like the same? Because I thought with it being more centrally, it would be better. But that's maybe
my thing with Kansas City is it's just hot as fuck and humid as fuck in Missouri, man, in the summer. Yeah. So let me look up their weather right now. So we're cloudy at 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Not very high humidity-wise. Off the top of my head, 92 degrees is like 34 degrees Celsius?
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly too.
But they've got rain. They had some rain earlier today, and they have rain again Tuesday through Thursday of next week. So then they're on severe thunderstorm watch today, actually. I lied. Yeah, so it was surprising to see Kansas City as a host venue, to be honest. But what I think FIFA wanted to do was try and spread the games geographically so people felt like they could participate. Like, which is cool, which is fine. I just would rather have put the games in like Minneapolis, where they at least have an enclosed stadium and they wouldn't have had to worry about this. But It is what it
Maybe
is, man.
it's maybe it's the cynic in me, Peter. But I'm gonna be real. I think the only reason that they chose Kansas City is because of Arrowhead Stadium and how big it is. Like,
Well, you also got to consider the three
I get why they
competitions
chose
going on.
it.
it's the fourth biggest. It's the fourth biggest stadium, like without expansions. It's the fourth biggest stadium in the being used in the Club World Cup. That's why they're going there. There's no other. I'll be honest. There's literally no other reason.
Yeah, no, I get that part, but like US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's not like small. Let me try and find a capacity right now. And this stadium's decently new, right? Hold on.
Yeah, that
I don't care about how much it cost.
No, it's new. Yeah, I think it's very new, right? If I'm not mistaken, the Vikings Stadium.
Because the Vikings played at 73,000 there. Yeah, they could have.
That's a decent size, actually.
Yeah, like they could have played there. Like if they really were like had foresight and wanted to eliminate the thunderstorm threat or the severe weather kind of thing, we could have had all of these games in enclosed arenas outside of New York, Philly, and Miami. But you're never gonna avoid the World Cup in Miami, factoring in how close Miami is to the rest of Latin America and how popular of a tourist spot that already is in the summer. They're never going to pass up the money, man.
Especially because the whole Messi thing as well. Like, it would not shock me if they somehow managed to find a way for Argentina to play in Miami.
No, of course. Like, you're
They'll
gonna
have like 2 out of the 3 group stage games there.
I was actually talking about that with Marshall because the way it's written, the way FIFA has it on the Wikipedia page is they have it in 3 regions: Western, Central, and the East region. So I think you're going to have teams stay in regions for the group stage to avoid cross-country travel as much as possible.
Yeah.
So you're definitely gonna have like certain teams stay out west, certain teams stay between like Miami and Atlanta and stuff like that. My real question is, who the fuck wants to go to Kansas City?
The U.S. contingency. That's
like,
really it.
Who's drawing that
question,
draw, dude?
That's the real question.
But that's why, like, when me and Pete were discussing this, it was kind of one of those things that I don't think the random draw is going to be as random as people think. Because
it can't be.
if you were to get a random draw where you're going to play in a stadium, who the fuck is going to want to go see Mexico versus Morocco in Kansas City?
Mexico already going to play.
But don't they already choose that? They're like, I know.
I was going to say Mexico, Canada, and the US will play. Like, the US is the only odd one because they will obviously have to play in one region. But Canada and Mexico will play. I think are already in their groups. I think they're already in their groups and they're already playing in their home stadiums.
But yeah,
like,
I would say like that's the one that would make the most sense.
Swap Mexico for Colombia. Like, why would we put Colombia and Morocco in Kansas City?
Yeah,
no, that has to be in East Coast.
Just put that shit in Atlanta, man. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
They already choose, don't they? The fixture list obviously gets done by the grouping and stuff, but then they just choose what people play anyway. So,
I mean, my point is, like, when the groups are drawn and everything, they're gonna have to finagle and move some shit around.
And the group's already drawn. I thought the group's already drawn, no?
No, the group's already drawn, but I will say they are. What's it called? The stadiums for each group are already chosen. It's like, for example, the group of Mexico. Group
they're
A.
They're gonna have to.
So, like, for example, right? Group A, all of the games are in Mexico outside of one, which is in Atlanta. But all the games are in Mexico. Same with Canada. All of them are in Canada outside of. Hang on a second.
Oh, there's one. So some of Group B is in California, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, there's 2 in California. One's in Seattle, and the rest in Canada. Okay.
Yeah.
That's random as fuck.
Now, you know what it is, Scott? The games that don't involve Canada are in America, but I think Canada is only getting like a few games.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, the Canadian ones are all in Canada, and then the others are in. Fair enough, I guess. Yeah, like, for example, Group C, they're literally playing in New Jersey, Philadelphia, Foxborough, and then Miami and Atlanta. So, yeah, they're playing just down the East Coast. And like 4 of those girls, some of those games are all the same.
The US are playing on the West Coast, according to this.
What, in Group C?
Group D. They'll be in SoFi twice and Seattle once. You know
That's
what that is?
interesting because it would make more sense to have the U.S. in Central America or Central U.S. than the West Coast. You keep the West Coast. And
my thought was yeah, my thought was the white people for the U.S. will go in the middle of the
Mhm.
country, but like anybody out here on the West Coast will go to the World Cup. We don't need the U.S. for people to go out here. Just give us
Mhm.
like Colombia, give us like a North African team, give us some West African teams. Just pretty much anybody other than like Indonesia. No offense, although it's one of the biggest countries in the world, they'll probably fucking show up.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah, there's
yeah,
no
it's
doubt that people are going to show up, because that's the thing too. Like, the World Cup is one of those things that people do travel to. Now, how travel is going to, you know, pan out by that time in the US, God willing, things loosen up a little bit and it's not nearly as bad as it is now. But in terms of travel, like, people will come out, and that's when like the 3 o'clock games or the evening games, like, or the early games make more sense, because you're gonna have people that are gonna travel, their non-American audience that are more than willing to go to those games while on a weekday, while the American, you know, contingency are going to be the ones at work. You know, they're not going to be able to go. Like, that's why I think FIFA were heavily reliant on this prediction that, oh, people are going to travel to see Chelsea. People are going to unless you're CB. People are going to travel to see Man City. People are going to travel to see Tunis and stuff from around the world to see this competition. That's just not how it played out. It ended up being mostly the American fans that went to the games instead of the actual international fans that came to America.
So looking at how they have it scheduled, because we have 12 groups of 4, you're going to have 2 groups play a day. So the group stage is going to be like a fucking
4
long
games
time,
a day.
dude. It's going to be 4 games a day, but you have to get through 24 games each round.
What, it's going to be 2 weeks?
It's going to be more than that.
Wow.
This group stage is going to be from June 11th to June 27th.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Can you bring up JC's comment, because I need to address this again. The US, in terms of CONCACAF, right? To explain it as basically as I can, you have to, like, it has to be a new region every year for the World Cup. The same region can't host the World Cup 2 years in a row. The FIFA, for whatever, actually no, not for whatever reason, we know the reason, FIFA are pushing and have pushed to make it so Asia has to host a World Cup next time. Or not next time, sorry, the time after that, 2034, because it's in Saudi Arabia. For that to happen, Africa and CONCACAF have to host a World Cup. The only country in CONCACAF who has the infrastructure to host an entire World Cup is the US. It's the only country in CONCACAF. As it happens, Canada and Mexico are involved as well, which I think is quite cool, just because they get to then play in different stadiums. And like I said, you get to see like European teams try and work out how to play at altitude and not die. That's going to be quite funny. But like, so this had to happen.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh, let's play it outside the US. Let's not have it in CONCACAF ever. It doesn't work like that.
I mean, we played in Qatar, like how hot was it in Qatar? I forgot, like I don't really.
Yeah, but that's what I put in.
No, the real thing that people aren't acknowledging with Qatar is, first of all, Qatar's on one time zone and they're mostly in the center of the planet.
Exactly.
So you can have games as late as you want, Qatari local time, so people can watch. It's less of an issue, right? Okay. Things happening in Los Angeles are 8 hours behind London. Okay.
Yeah.
So we more have to work around time zones for viewership. Also, this is an expanded tournament. There used to be 64 games in the 32-team World Cup. We're going to see 104 games next summer. So you have to put this where you think federations can properly host events. Okay, 104 games. That's why this 2030 bid between the joint bid between Morocco and Spain and whoever else, or Portugal, right?
Portugal.
It's like Morocco, Portugal, and then there's like randomly there's going to be games in Uruguay for some reason.
So it's Morocco, Portugal. The reason for this is again corruption, but it's jokes. It's Morocco, Portugal, Spain, and then the first 2 games are happening in Paraguay and Argentina.
Okay, yeah, something like that to celebrate a century of World Cup football. It's some shit like this, mainly to clear the deck so Saudi gets handed the 2034 one and we have another winter edition. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So it's easy to say, like, don't let the US have it because you don't like their attitude towards foreigners, whatever, blah, blah, blah. We have to understand, we got awarded this World Cup in 2018?
Yeah, I was going to say 2018, right?
Yes, we've had 2 administration changes since then, and this attitude towards non-citizens has drastically
changed in the
eroded,
last 6 months over.
Yeah, like I'm gonna cut FIFA some bail here.
Yeah, it's not on FIFA.
I'm on record. I don't think an expanded World Cup is a bad idea. I hate how football fans want to act like snobs. For me, like, the World Cup isn't really the pinnacle of football quality-wise. It's a gigantic global event where we should celebrate other nations getting a chance to participate. I just don't think there's a big gap in quality between whichever team is 32nd in the rankings and whatever team is currently 48th. So the whole, you're watering down the field, I don't think I'm hearing that expanding from 32 to 48.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the competition for what it is. Logistically, it's going to be tough. But I mean, they'll figure it out, man, and it'll be good. And you guys are all gonna watch, and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too, right? Like, people don't like changes. And to address JC's comment really quickly here, how we watch football then versus how we watch football now has drastically changed, right? We're talking about expanded teams, access to like the networks and the times and everything. Like, the world is a totally different world than what it was when the World Cup was hosted in Mexico. Okay, so you got to take that into account. Like, we can't just go back to the olden days and like, oh, this is convenient to watch. Everyone was watching when we played in Mexico. Why can't we just do that?
Perspective, how this doesn't work. And this isn't just me coming as from an English fan, but go back to Pete's point earlier. Let's say, for example, they play a game in LA, in California, at 7 p.m. That's 10 p.m. East Coast in America. Forget another country, that's 10 p.m. East Coast in America. That's 4 in the morning in the UK.
Yep.
Best one in the world, I'm not fucking watching a game at 4 in the morning. Most people aren't watching a game at 4 in the fucking morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dumbest thing
they're
to
not
do
going to do that.
The dumbest thing to do would be cater the event for local fans to consume when you're broadcasting this as a celebration of global football.
Yeah.
If they're going to have 4 games a day, probably going to be one at 10 a.m. this time, probably going to be one at noon, probably going to be one at 3 or 4, and then one at 5 or 6. That would be what I would do.
Yep.
I would probably even start it earlier, to be honest. I would go noon Eastern, 2 Eastern, 4:30 Eastern, and then like 7 Eastern. So then UK people are getting 3 games a night before realistically they're going to bed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, listen, again, this is not disrespect, but the reality is, obviously, the vast majority of the world, excluding obviously, of course, like the US, is, you know, there's a much bigger fan base there, right? If that makes sense. Obviously, yes, there's the local fan base, but then there's all of these other guys as well that exist.
Yeah, no, of course. But JC, to address your comment, yeah, sure. Football, and I would even argue football as the game has changed, not drastically, but it has changed to how it was played back 20 years ago. But how it's being watched, how it's being viewed has dramatically changed since that time. You have multiple networks now. You have corporations. You have more viewers than ever. The world population was not the size it is now 20 years ago or 25 years ago, however long ago the Mexican World Cup was. I can't even remember. Like, there's so much more factors, corporations, money. Like, it's like you're naive to think these things haven't changed. Now, that's also, saying it nicely.
I don't know whether it's a case of like just like you said, Marshall, naivety or just pettiness or just like a lack of wanting to understand. These companies and these corporations and these big sporting groups, for lack of a better term, they don't care about you, me, like the hardcore people who will stay up to 4 a.m. to watch a game. They care about the casuals, like my dad, who doesn't watch a single bit of football during a league season. Doesn't give a single shit about any cup. He used to support Leeds back in the day. That was years ago. What he will do is every single tournament, international, he'll watch. Every international game, even the friendlies, he'll watch England. That's who they care about. They care about the people. Don't ask me why.
No. I'm laughing because like you're so right.
They don't care about the hardcores. They care about the casuals.
They know they have us already. We're on YouTube on a Friday talking about a team when none of us beside Marshall get paid for this. We're doing this shit for fun. FIFA don't have to fucking market to me or cater to me. They know they have me already. But when I was making the point about expansion being fine and people just pretending to care. Okay, so the current 30th ranked team in the world is Panama. Okay? Don't ask me how that happened, but that's the current 30th ranked team in the world. If I were to scroll down to 50, I have Slovenia. Do any of you actually think there's a difference in quality between Panama and Slovenia?
That's Wales. Let me see.
Wales 31.
Wait.
They're 31.
You're right below Panama. Hold that.
No, there's no way.
I'm looking at it right now, Chris. You can cry, but I'm literally looking at it.
I know we dropped down a little bit, but come on, like.
Why are you better than Panama in your mind?
We got
Panama
Williams, we got Brennan Johnston. We got
final.
Just let it go, Chris. Just prove
Okay.
We don't have Garfield no more, okay?
Yeah,
but like Pete, especially in the US, Pete can attest to this. I don't know if in the UK you get people like this. I doubt it's as common as it is in the US. Come the World Cup time, you'll have people that all of a sudden be interested that aren't the casuals, and they'll be like, "Wait, are US in it? Are Brazil in the World Cup?" Like it's like, "Oh my God, you really don't know
I saw
anything."
this live.
Let me tell you a story. Sorry, Pete. Let me tell you a story. My last job. I worked during the World Cup, the one in Qatar. The amount of people who went from not giving a shit at work about football to watching every game, because we put it on the TVs at work, because I worked at a call center. The amount of people that went and we watched every fucking game and were invested in every game, especially every England game.
Of course.
Bro, and these are people that don't give a shit about football. And they went from that to like watching every game and being invested in England. And whatnot, and it's like that's the people they care about, because it's those people that are probably going to spend the money on trying to watch something or whatever, or going to bars or the alcohol or whatever, or buying the kits because they see a nice kit or something.
Bro, the 2022 World Cup.
Go ahead, Pete, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
As much as, bro, we can honestly talk about this the whole time. Who cares about this other shit? Whatever. But as much as people want to act like not having the World Cup in Qatar was like some like blood money crazy event, the times for matches here
was fantastic.
Actually perfect, because we had, I want to say it was like 3 a.m., 6 a.m., 9 a.m. and noon. So like on Saturdays, you have people in bars at 6 a.m. because in California, you're not allowed to sell alcohol, I believe, between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m.
This strange.
It's like a state thing. So you have people for the 6 a.m. kickoff. Yeah, because we're not degenerates.
California. We are in
so
the East Coast.
So 6 a.m. kickoff. You have people getting beers at 6 a.m. watching the World Cup in bars. People beers, breakfast, all that stuff. Like I was watching people collectively yelling at the TV when Ecuador were playing the Netherlands. Nobody there cares about any of those teams, but it was the game before the U.S. game, so the bar was filling up. Low-key, it was way better. That was the day that U.S. tied England 0-0 again, or whatever. But there's so many casual fans. Like I just looked it up. The 2022 World Cup reached 5 billion people across all their social platforms and streaming and broadcasts. Approximately 5 billion. So say that's everybody engaging with the content via broadcast, stream, and social media. That's still, if you divide that by 5, That's still 1 billion unique people. That's over 12% of the world. Like, you guys got to understand, like, this is a marketing thing for them.
100%.
They're going to gear it towards the type of people who might tune in and then not tune back in till summer 2030. It's just what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, JC, this is essentially what's going to happen, right? Every continent's going to have their chance to host the World Cup. So it'll be a while until the US hosts it again, or the North American continent hosts it again. So yeah. We just can't have it in Saudi or Asian. Wait, is Saudi technically in Asia, right? So yeah, we can't have it in the Asian continent like every year, as ideal as it might be for some people, but not everyone. So yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get back into Chelsea. I think that was a great topic. Let's go ahead and get back into Chelsea, and let's talk some finances, because we love finances. Ooh. So Chelsea are still making money and finding loopholes. We'll get into the loopholes aspect of what? Why is there 2 Scots? What the fuck?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? Well, actually, the chat probably won't like
away.
that. Let's get into this. So, Chelsea have now earned a fee close to £80 million thanks to the FIFA Club World Cup performances qualifying for the final. Excellent job by Enzo Maresca with the UCL return, Conference League trophy, and also perfect Club World Cup so far. I wouldn't say perfect, but across that trio, Chelsea have spent...
Perfect.
What was that, Pete?
It's perfect.
Yeah, you know what?
What's going wrong?
No, because if we won that game, we would have gotten nailed to the cross, either against Bayern or PSG, and not been in this position anyways.
Oh yeah, it would have been a lot harder.
So it's perfect in a odd way, because normally you think
it worked out.
You think flawless. Yeah,
it worked out. It's perfect.
So across the trio, Chelsea have spent £133.5 million, and that's before adding on nearly another £100 million on other new faces. And we're still only in early July. Add their amortization and modest wage estimates, and we're getting towards the £50 million mark. Update: any new costs stemming from incoming players must be offset by savings from exits. One workaround would be simply not register any new signings for new season's Champions League. None of João Pedro, Jamie Gittins, or Liam Delap would be best pleased. And then one more in terms of the finances. Chelsea were prepared to keep Jadon Sancho. He was offered around 180 to 200K a week. He said no. So a few things to, talk about there. Obviously, we're making a lot of money from the Club World Cup. We offered Jadon if this is true, we offered Jadon a significant amount of money. It's probably with add-ons, to be honest, or incentivized.
No, 180 to 200K. I think that was the potential add-ons.
And we have spent a decent amount, or a good chunk of prognosticated money, I would say, because it's not like we're spending it immediately in the summer so far. You know what? I might as well throw this into it, because we have to talk about UEFA as well. So UEFA and FFP. So a few things have been going on with this whole ordeal, and I kind of wanted to go over it with you guys as well, so I can get a better understanding. Maybe you guys see it a different way. We have here from The Athletic: after removing those assets, sales, hotels, car park, women's team, their pre-tax loss across 3 years to the end of 23-24 was around 330 million euros. Avoiding another UEFA breach will likely require plenty of outgoing transfers. Chelsea's operating cost remains high, so player sales remain a necessity. The UEFA settlement regimen only further underlines that. As the UEFA punishment, Chelsea have been preparing for this outcome, even though it includes possible ramifications for new signings being named in the Champions League squad for next season. They are confident it will not be an issue. Continuing on from The Athletic: as part of the settlement regimen with UEFA, Chelsea have agreed they can only register new signings if their List A transfer balance, that being List A being the registered squad for European competition, is positive. Continuing, Chelsea have agreed to a loss in 24-25 in line with their current projections. For next season's reporting period covering 23-24 to 25-26, they've committed to losing just 65 million euros. So this was something I kind of wanted to go over with you guys because it seems like there was a masterstroke here done by the ownership. So let's go over it. So, according to financial expert Stefan Borson, claims Chelsea outsmarted UEFA and Aston Villa in FFP negotiations. What we do know from the scale of Chelsea and Villa's fines is that Chelsea's breach was very substantially higher than Aston Villa's, even on the cost control one. The bottom line on Chelsea is that not only did they admit to breaching the year ending in June 2024, but also admitted breaching 2025, the year that's just literally finished. What that means is that they pay a higher fine, but also get the first year of a 4-year settlement period versus Aston Villa's 3 years to be a test against their own budget, which is a really good test for them because they know they're not going to breach it. It's the budget that they put together based on the latest information at year end. So there's no way they're going to fail, and the first year is effectively a free year. What that means is they pay £15 million more than Aston Villa and push the whole issue out. It's not really going to bite until 2029, the final year of the settlement period in all likelihood. So I think it's a very good deal for Chelsea overall. I think they probably outsmarted not just UEFA, but also Aston Villa in negotiation. I would say it's a better deal than Villa's. Kind of confused on that one, but maybe some of you guys in chat or maybe some of you guys on the panel can make a little bit more sense on it. So if I'm understanding correctly, it's more convenient that they admit the fines or the financial losses for this past year and the year before, because it gives them a 4-year window, this first window, and in that 4-year window they have to basically show that they're in compliance with the financial breaches, which if they did all their buying early onset, by the time we get to that 4th year, they will have sold and gotten rid of enough players and reduced the amount of buying that they did because they did all of it early, and all of that at the cost of a 65 million euro fine, and they can get away with it. I think that's how I understand it, which seems convenient to me, but also maybe not. I don't know if someone else maybe understood it differently. By all means, feel free. Also, Jadon Sancho and any of the other stuff we discussed. Yeah,
are we chiming in now? Hold on. Not to be rude.
Yeah.
But I do want to point out that we had a much more engaging conversation about the logistics of the World Cup than
No, we didn't.
how we are doing some MacGyver shit to get around financial sanctions. Short answer, I don't think a bunch of venture capitalists would have behaved so naively that they actually got caught up in some shit like this. I don't have a perspective of what like clubs' finances and how money flows actually works, so I don't want to do the whole "oh, we're fucked" or "oh, we're great." But this cash grab tournament is hilarious because it really
100%.
makes rival fans upset. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I also even regardless of that, I also obviously okay. So I think they knew there was an opportunity to make money in this tournament, so they did prioritize it. Like we heard earlier on. Say that one more time, Scott.
Did they fuck? And prioritize shit. They got lucky that Enzo Maresca is a fantastic manager. I'll be real.
Oh,
yes. Yeah.
We lucked into this. Well, I will take it.
Yeah. I don't think they expected to make this much money. That's the thing.
Well, they're idiots then, bro. You've got a tournament where you've got the capabilities of making more money than, like, in terms of from a football perspective, than this club has made from football. Like, forget transfers, from stuff outside of transfers. Like, this is, I think if we win, it's the equivalent of like 2 front of shirt sponsors.
Yeah.
2 high-end shirt
million.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they didn't really do anything to prepare outside of buying Liam Delap. So, like, and getting Santos back from the line, which is good.
Also, though,
Like the only actual thing they've done when it comes to like preparing or not preparing because it's the thing like the João Pedro signing, like
Sure.
getting him in when they got him in, that shows you in terms of like they actually did get him in with like to help with this tournament. That was once we got to the knockouts. We went into the group stage with no preparation in terms of from the owners or sporting directors. Everything I've said before, 90% of why we're at the final is down to Maresca.
Yeah, listen, what I will say is I don't think they anticipated Enzo Maresca doing as good of a job as he did.
And they're
But
fucking stupid.
what I will say in terms of what they did anticipate or what they were planning to do is that no matter what happened this season with Enzo Maresca, they were not going to sack him. I really don't think they were, because it would have been stupid, because we've heard in previous reports that they thought that this tournament was going to be a big deal. I also don't think they anticipated to make it to a goddamn final. I think maybe get out of the group stage and then we'll make money off of that and then we'll just get out of here, right? But they definitely didn't anticipate making it to a final. They didn't anticipate Enzo Maresca being as good as has been doing with the team. They definitely, and I agree with you, I think in terms of squad building, I don't think they very much did a good job to anticipate for that as well. I don't think 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago they were planning like, hey, we have a Club World Cup. Let's get Santos and Paes and all these other players. Let's develop them so that they're ready for Club World Cup. I don't think they were doing that. However, I think they knew there was a chance to make money, but despite that, did make more money outside of Club World Cup.
No, I agree with Marshall. I think we've had this conversation before of like there's different levels of preparation. I didn't expect them to prepare for this 2 years ago because that would be dumb, right? We came into this tournament with effectively, considering performances, one winger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Effectively,
or even a left back, one left back, even. Yeah.
We came into this tournament with one left back, one winger,
Still
basically one striker because of how bad Jackson has been, and that one striker was a complete unknown that we signed for 30 million a few days beforehand, and it was basically the only signing, like actual signing we made. Like I don't really count Sara as Hugo. We made those previously, and also they played a combined total of I think less than 90 minutes between them. So like that was their preparation. So there's different levels of preparing, but like I said, Maresca has managed to like take a slightly underprepared team in certain areas. Like I said, we had effectively one winger who came into this tournament not great, like in decent form, but not great form. He's been our best player. He's managed to make it work on the left-hand side, whether it is Nkunku playing there, whether it's Palmer playing there, whether it's KDH played there, I think, at least once. He's managed to make it work. Like and fair play to him. But that's what I say. If we win this final, him and the players get all of the like plaudits.
Yeah, and one thing I'll also say to answer Quiz Pursuit's comment here, what I don't get is why not get a front of shirt sponsor for 1 year? 35 million pounds is better than nothing, especially when you are doing so much financially engineering with club finances. The thing is, this is like living in an ideal world. I don't think front of shirt sponsor is going to come to Chelsea and try to get a 1 year deal. And I don't think Chelsea want a 1 year deal either, even just to cover them. And if in an ideal world, like you're assuming companies want to do a 1 year deal. We managed to get like a small deal with the Mac, which lasted what, 6 weeks, I want to say? 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
6 games, 7 games.
I thought we secured a sponsorship still.
Nope.
We still don't have one, but
let's bring back the Mac, man. They was our good luck.
I think it's a possibility, but I also think you give a 1 year deal at a discount. That was the point. Maybe you see who bites. I just don't think. I think we got lucky with the Mac deal, but maybe that's something that's being worked on in the background with other investors and stuff. But before you go, Scott, I think the other thing too is that if you don't secure down a permanent deal at a smaller price, now that if we were to win this, for example, and we get Champions League and do all that. Now we're in a much better position to, one, maybe bring up our price a little bit, and on top of it, get a much more secure and a much better front of shirt sponsor that we would have gotten before. Go ahead, Scott. Sorry.
I was just to say, like, I do agree with Christmas's point in terms like you could do that. I don't think they should try and do it at this point. They should have tried to do it for the Club World Cup. The fact that we went,
yeah, I agree.
Part of what we heard for the DMAC thing, the reason it being the DMAC one being so short is they wanted a front of shirt sponsor for the Club World Cup. They didn't. That's money you missed out on. Fantastic. In the end, it hasn't really mattered because of what we've won, like all the winnings from actually against the final and whatnot. But you've already missed out on that. It's not something I would explore yet because you have got time. But I think if I'm playing devil's advocate, Marshall's favorite thing, what I would say is like what they're hoping for is more guaranteed money. Like, yes, you could go and get a 1-year sponsorship on like £35 million. But what you're hoping is maybe you can get 50, 60 on like a 2-3 year deal. That's 2-3 years of guaranteed money. Like, and more guaranteed money. So I think that's all it is. It's just trying to like get guaranteed money come in, because then, ironically, it allows you to plan better. Like, if you know for a fact you've got like 60 mil coming in across 3 years, you can plan better in terms of, okay, who do we maybe need to sell, or how is our finance going to look at who can we buy, how much can we spend on it? Like, financially, it just allows you to plan a little bit better rather than just like doing a lot of short-term moves. So yeah, that's why I can understand why they're trying to do that. As I said, from now, if they actually get a front of shirt sponsor like Riyadh Air or whatever it was, Qatar Airways, or it won't be Jordan, but whatever it is for like 50 to 60 million, like a 2-3 year deal, that's fine. If we get into like August, about to play games, and we still don't have a front of shirt sponsor, then I agree. We just need to go for the 35 million 1 year thing, because we can't go through we can't go through another season, a third year in a row, having no front of shirt sponsor.
There's no way we do, though. There's no way we do.
Do you believe that?
I think the part of the problem is, yeah.
Let's do it, man.
And this is the reason why I've stayed quite silent.
We're a month away. By the way, Marshall, sorry, Ahmed, just before you go.
You're staying silent because you're eating.
Marshall, we are, by the way, we are a month away from the season starting.
I wasn't eating. You said I was eating. You know, but listen,
you smiling.
What would you say percentage-wise? Sorry, Ahmed, for interrupting. What would you say percentage-wise we start the season without a front of shirt sponsor?
It has to be less than 20%. There's no way. Like, I just can't. In my head, I can't fathom that these guys who have made billions, maybe trillions, who knows, but I think billions. I just can't fathom in my head that they go another season where they're leaving money on the table and don't have a plan. Like, they can't be that dumb. They can't be that dumb.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny if you saying that, Marshall? It was only just 4 weeks ago that we were saying it's 2 months left until the beginning of the season. You know, by then they should have, you know what I mean? We're now.
Well, I think they're waiting for the Club World Cup to be done to see what offers come.
I thought they wanted a spot.
The problem with this take, Marshall, is that their whole problem was when they were trying to get deals done for was UEFA football. That's the whole problem. But they were like Champions League football. They needed Champions League football for a lot of their alleged deals.
That was a big factor, yes.
Right. So that big factor has happened now. The Club World Cup, if anything, is helping to boost you in terms of maybe trying to get extra prospects here and there, right? But the problem is, as of right now, like, I don't think you need that now. You don't need that now. Like, realistically, how much more are you going to be getting because you won the Club World Cup? Realistically, I'm just going to ask you that question. Like, let's say they were doing deals for 60 M's, right? Because that's what I think, I'm not mistaken. Memory serves me correctly. That was like one of the going prices they wanted for a franchise sponsor. Yeah, they're now in the final. How much more realistically can you squeeze out because you've got the Club World Cup final?
If you win it, I think you can arguably ask for 70 mil. Instead of the 60, you get another 10 million in asking price. That's what I would imagine. Right? And I think the way I see it too, it's like how I would propose it. Maybe if I was in the conference room, this is a salesman of me coming out. Listen, you're going to have your shirt on a team who's going to have a badge that says Club World Cup champions. They're going to be known as the champions of the Club World Cup, the best team in the world for 4 years.
World champs. When we went on Sunday, we're world champs for 4 years, all right?
For 4 years. Now, you can't get that in any other team. You can't get, I am the only team in the world that will have that as a label. And all eyes will be on me.
Every year until then?
Yes,
so,
Chris.
Yeah, let's go win it, man.
Yes, we will simultaneously be Conference League.
That's
winners
amazing.
and-
That's what I want.
Chris, just because you said it, we're gonna try to win it now. But like, I think, and because like, listen, I know people, not everyone has been on board with this, but in terms of outside of what you see in terms of stadium numbers and stuff, in the long haul, I think this has kind of been a really good success. Like the way it's being run, and not the way it's being run, but like, I guess how much more entertaining the Club World Cup has been than what was actually initially anticipated, I think has generated a lot more interest for future Club World Cup tournaments. That now this, and I see it, like, I think eventually this tournament will become bigger than Champions League, as long as they keep fixing it and improving on it. So I do think if we win it, a better sponsor, more sponsors.
It won't happen
will be
enough
on
to
the
be
table.
bigger than Champions League, but
Yeah, it won't ever be bigger than the Champions League. But
No.
Champions League happens every year, Marshall, and you just get
Yeah.
more. You get iconic fixtures every spring. Club World Cup's gonna just be this cool thing that people go to when they're tired of living in the shitty UK in the summer when it's hot and they have no AC. So it'll be people's excuse to fly to another country, which is why I think the Club World Cup should never be in the UK, because we should never force tourists to live in places that have no air conditioning. But different.
Yeah, like Marshall as well. The other thing as well is you forget not only is the Champions League on every year, there's already a huge amount of history with the Champions League. So the Club World Cup is starting from a much further
they're starting from zero. They're trying to establish brand recognition. But like in the Champions League on some random Wednesday in April when you're home from work, you know you're gonna turn on the TV and you're gonna see like Bayern versus Madrid. Like shit always happens.
Yeah, no, I get it from that point of view. Let's see what happens. I have this idea in my head, because I'm starting to think when you guys said it, like relevancy also plays like a factor, right? Like, you know, recency and stuff. Like obviously because you get Champions League every year, like
Also,
people
the
are going to
history of
think,
Champions League as well comes into
Yeah,
factor.
obviously we're never, you know,
Like Club World
Cup's
Cup
never
to
gonna
me
catch up to
is the
that.
third best trophy to win.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'd
But-
rather win that shit over an FA Cup
But yeah, I just
or Europa League.
I just can't fathom that these owners are just going to leave money on the table like that for a third season now.
10 million more, Marshall. I'm sorry. I'm not sure they would not be agreeing to deal because they want to squeeze out.
I was going to say we went basically we went in nearly an entire season without a front of shirt sponsor.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, bro.
Nearly an entire
Even for
season,
me.
outside of 7 weeks or 7 games,
Even-
whatever it was.
It would
Yeah.
be crazy. Do you think we
Yeah.
would have offers since we got Champions League football as well now?
No, we
Like-
probably do, but again, I think
we
this is again goes back to Quiz Pursuits with comment of earlier. We probably could get a 25-35 mil on like a 1-year deal offer in terms of like we did with Infinite Athlete, like we did with the Mac. We probably could. What they want though is that big 60 million on like a free 4, probably not 4, but like a 3-year contract sort of thing. That's what they want. So like. So they're going to try and go for that. If that fails, then we'll have to wait and see. But that's what they want to try and do, which I understand, and I'm not blaming them for that. But like that just means that it's probably going to. Well, it's definitely going to take a while, as it's already taken 3 months or whatever it is.
This is why for me it's just. I don't know how much more you can necessarily squeeze out at this point. Like obviously, that's the point.
Well, if we win the Club World Cup, I'm sure you agree you can negotiate more.
Bro, like again, my problem becomes how much more are we?
I don't
dealing
know,
with?
like
how much more? Because for me, if it's only 10 mil more,
But I'm not asking you how much more. I'm asking you, it's definitely going to be more, right?
No, but listen,
no, but isn't it?
say-
Go on.
because like I think Marshall's point. Yes, you are correct. Yes, you can squeeze out more, but the problem is right. Is the amount more you're getting? That's what you have to ask yourself.
Is it
right?
worth it? No, I understand.
I don't.
That's where it comes from, right? Because I don't disagree with you what you're saying, but for me, it's like is when you're already good at selling people, you're good at getting. You're probably gonna get other deals, side deals. You've already gotten other partnerships that you're already doing. Is that 10 million more so much of a difference? I'm just using 10 million because I really feel like you're not gonna get 25 million more for the World Cup. Really, probably 10
No,
to 5 million. Right?
Maybe a bit of like naivety on my part, but I don't even know if I don't know if sponsors care that much.
Yeah, that's what I'm
When it
thinking.
comes to Club World Cup yet, because like again, maybe it's probably not a little bit of naivety on my part, and I fully accept that, by the way.
It's double advocacy on my part.
That's fair, but like for me, like what's more important, like in terms of Champions League, I just think getting in Champions League is way more important because in terms of the eyes you're going to get on it, like I don't think winning the Club World Cup or being in the Club World Cup is going to put as much eyes on you as a club as being in the Champions League, winning Champions League. So, like, I think getting in the Champions League getting in the Champions League should allow you to get these big deals anyway.
That's what I'm saying, Scott. Like for me, my point, obviously, with you, Marshall, was that you and I, and Scott,
The problem with
been
me
here, and Chris, we've all been here before. We
Okay.
all knew apparently all deals that the club wanted to sign are waiting on Champions League football. And the thing is, guys, since the end of May, Champions League football is confirmed now. And one of the things I was saying in early June, if you guys remember, was like, guys, if you guys already agreed a deal, you know what you're going to be getting for Champions League football. Realistically, all we should be doing is dotting our I's, crossing our T's, and making sure everything's all good and lovely jubbly, and signing that deal. It should not be taking this long, realistically speaking.
Can I say, like, it doesn't matter, like, I feel like it doesn't matter if we won the Club World Cup. We've already played the games. Isn't it like if you have to play the games, then you're showing a sponsor, like, in the games? That's why,
Well,
again,
it's not
Champions
so
League,
much
you
that,
show...
like...
Why
it-
would,
for-
like, the title winning Club World Cup next year, like your sponsor matter? That's what I don't get.
I'll explain, Chris. Like the only reason I think it matters is because if you can actually put on the table, like, listen, we're the only club in world football that are going to have this badge on our kit for the next 4 years, you should definitely give us more money because we are the best team in football. Like we beat the Champions League champions, right? Like we beat those guys.
Yeah.
We are the best team in the world. We have a badge to show it for the next 4 years. So don't you want to have your sponsor on the kit for the best team in the world? Like, you know, like that's what I would think as like, oh, now we have an extra edge in negotiations. That's the only thing I could possibly think of.
But this is,
and on top of it, there's a tournament going on, transfer window. There's a lot going on, but
guys,
they should have someone else doing
Chelsea
that.
have told us as well.
Yeah.
They have their own department that deals with this, bro. Remember, if we are led to believe what these guys are doing, we have our own financial division now, allegedly. That's all this stuff. So this really is separate from what's happening on the pitch. That doesn't involve like Bali. That doesn't involve any of the ownership. They have their guys already there. So for me, again, it just comes back to the same question I asked. People can say wait until the start of the season. I am waiting until the start of the season. I'm not even brought up that I've not got a financial sponsor for a long time. But key word I'm saying, but realistically, it should have been done by now if what they are reporting is true. That's the one thing I always say. If they keep telling us we've got our deals prepped, once you get UCL football, that should be going through. Realistically, that should only take you 2 to 3 weeks at tops because you have already a general agreement with the other person. Again, I's and T's should be what's remaining. Making sure everything's good on each side with the amount they're paying.
Yeah, I mean, agree to disagree. I think the only way we're gonna get an answer on this is that when it does happen, which if it doesn't happen again, I think that's also an answer.
All right, man. This might be like a legendary club run, bro. We might be having. I probably will have like what 3 shirts now.
Yeah. I love it.
You're not wrong.
It's true right now. I'm gonna go
I've got the pot shirt, season shirt with no sponsor.
Yeah.
I've got this season shirt with no sponsor, and then I got this season. So
Yeah.
Moresca's last season, and then this season's one now with no sponsor. I've got
only
three
for the
kits now.
people.
Yeah.
Only for the
Pre-season.
people.
It's a shame that the only sponsored shirt I have is a fucking big ass disgusting 3 on it.
I've got
Oh,
three.
That
It's
shit
so
is disgusting.
disgusting. It's a
I
shame.
would take no sponsor and take a
Yeah.
cut. I like.
Hey, we won the European Cup with that sponsor, all right?
We
Respect
do.
Shout out to
But-
man.
If they don't get a sponsor, that to me tells me whatever is going on in the finances, clearly they're doing much more in the background than is even worth bothering with the front of shirt sponsor. That they can afford to leave the money on the table like that. Or when they do get a sponsor, we'll find out why it took so long and why they were waiting. Like we'll see. The answers
I
will
hope
come
so,
in
man.
due
We'll,
time.
we'll
I hope
never
so,
find that
Marshall.
out because when it happens, it will be a bunch of PR bullshit. So we're actually never going to find out the actual reason.
We'll pick out the
why it
truth,
took that long.
Scott. That's what we're good at here.
Nah, and honestly, like if they get it done, I don't really care. Like if it takes till like the day before the season starts and it gets done, I really don't give a shit. To be completely honest with you, at least it gets done.
Yeah. Let's go ahead, Scott. Finish your.
No, it was basically so as long as it gets done, I don't care. It's just
All right.
I think it's an interesting conversation to
That's
have.
what I'm saying,
I don't know if it
What's
does
up,
get
Pete?
done.
Let me give my thoroughly well thought out take about this.
Okay.
There's no reason to pass up on a front of shirt sponsor for an entire season. These guys are in the business of making money, so I can't see why they would do that. But they'll throw some shit together over the next month, man. It'll be okay. Like I don't know what DMAC is like to this day. I don't know what that is.
It's a housing firm. It's a firm that does houses.
Yeah, it's to do with property.
Luxury homes, to be honest.
Just throw some shit on the shirt because just having the World Champs badge and having no sponsor is gonna look weird. So we probably need something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree. Let's do a little detour real quick and discuss a bit of Strasbourg news because Strasbourg has been moving a little mad. I know you don't care, so maybe we'll run through this pretty quick. So let's go over a few things real quick. So Strasbourg and Euro Metropolis of Strasbourg, I guess is the translation of that, have signed the agreement for Strasbourg to continue using the Le Menau.
That's not the translation. Rating and that's Euro Metro of Strasbourg. So it means basically the city of Strasbourg.
Okay. Le Menau Stadium until 2061. This signing formalizes a new partnership between the community that owns the stadium and Strasbourg and the region's iconic club. Now, latest Strasbourg midfield, Pape de Jong is on the verge of joining US Dunkirk on a season loan. He had been placed on the list of players to be loaned out this season with the aim of gaining playing time in a competitive league. Then we have Strasbourg right winger Bakwa has reached a contractual agreement with Como in recent weeks, but remains cautious and has not yet given the final green light. Como has made repeated offers to persuade him to join their project in northern Italy. AC Milan have also submitted a 15 million euro offer for Strasbourg for Guela Due. Strasbourg value him even more, and with no pressure to sell their talent, whose contract runs until June 2029. Strasbourg have rejected the 50 million euro proposal for AC Milan for Guela Due. We continue on. Matisse Mugu, might as well throw this guy in here too. Will sign for Strasbourg on a permanent transfer. Is the player that we acquired in January and played a total of 30 minutes, I think, 15. Maybe
So
less.
basically, we use the loophole to make money. That's what we just did with Guela Due. Okay.
Yeah. Apparently,
We didn't make money, but we
put money in the books.
Yeah, it was to pass UEFA's thing or something. It's still fucking stupid. This whole deal makes absolutely no sense. But fair enough, we managed to find a loophole out of it. Fair play.
Yeah, which maybe was the intention. Who knows? All signed from Matisse Mugu to Strasbourg on a permanent deal from Chelsea, contract until June 2030, as Cyril Olives reports, with Chelsea to include a buyback clause and not using a loan spot. The 19-year-old French midfielder will land in Alsace on Friday as part of the transfer between Chelsea and Strasbourg. He was signed by Chelsea for 50 million euros. He will now sign a contract with Strasbourg for 5 years until 2030. And then Scott's favorite player, Mike Penders. Chelsea and Strasbourg are considering loaning Mike Penders. Discussions are ongoing regarding the 19-year-old Belgian goalkeeper. Mike Penders' season loan deal to Racing Strasbourg is closer. Negotiations between Chelsea and Strasbourg regarding Mike Penders have progressed well in recent hours. He is expected to join Strasbourg on loan. Mike Penders is close to joining Strasbourg on loan after Philip Jorgensen refused to join, according to L'Equipe. Chelsea will proceed with Penders' loan after Club World Cup, and Strasbourg is the most advanced and concrete option. Chelsea think he will be a top goalkeeper. Oh, and we'll touch on
Chelsea think.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I think with Strasbourg as the person that watches done the most. Yeah. One thing I will say before we get to some of the incomers they've got. Yeah.
Sure.
the club essentially have admitted, by the way, that our number 2 Jorgensen is a bust. By the way, the fact they were trying to make essentially before they even put Penders there, they were willing to put Jorgensen essentially into that situation. You know,
to raise money to sell him.
I mean, he doesn't get
essentially raise money to sell him. I think, you know, we, as I said before, Tweedledum when we signed him, no surprises there. But this movement that from the side again, Jorgensen playing and becoming a goalkeeper there. Again, you're giving this guy, you know, a Conference League football, trying to get him to do a lot of stuff here. You're really trying to give this guy the keys here. You know, it's going to be a big season for this guy, if we're being honest with you, right? I forget he's 19 years old. I think he is right now. You know, this is big shoes you're giving him. I hope he doesn't drown. That's all I'm going to just say with him. Man, I hope he does well because...
I'll be honest. If he's as good as we keep getting told he is, I'm expecting him to be in, like, top 3 goalkeepers in the league next season.
That's...
I'll take top 5 even, but
no, top 3.
Oh, top 3.
We just sold someone who was top 3 goalkeepers in the league last season, who we'll get to later, because apparently part of the reason was, whether it was admitted or not, part of the reason was apparently is we're waiting for this kid. Cool. So he needs to be as good then.
Yeah. So for me, listen, this is big. I have to be honest with you. If you're being fair, this deal was a very big deal in terms of just him in particular. I think the next thing that we do need to discuss as well, if we're going to discuss it, Gueledue. The thing is, I forget who their backup is to Gueledue on that side.
They don't have one. I think they sold.
No,
they sold.
The backup was an attacker.
No, they sold. Okay. I only know this because I was debating doing a Strasbourg save on FM, and I ended up seeing the team. They sold someone who was a right back, Senea, I think his name was. They sold him to some other. Then they sold him to Auxerre.
Yeah, sorry.
And so for me, you know, and again, if I'm not mistaken, Gueledue is a left back. And so for me, the problem that you've got right now is that if you're gonna sell Due, you need to get some guys in. And I've not had any links right now for Strasbourg in that market and that position. And so I think what's more than likely gonna happen, I actually think he will stay. So I don't think AC Milan's gonna pay. I think the price that they
No, I think they want minimum. I know it said there about 35. I think I saw another thing where it said they want minimum 25 million.
The thing is, because like the AC Milan were a bit cheeky because their first bid, by the way, was the price that Strasbourg bought them for, by the way. Brought him for, which was a bit cheeky from them. Yeah, that was very cheeky from them. Because so I was thinking that's a bit cheeky. Oh, is that the but Maxi Oyedele is a midfielder though, Morning Zombie. So yes,
I forgot to mention him apparently.
Yeah. So Maxi Oyedele is a midfielder. He obviously you played against him. He was highly rated in the United Academy, by the way. Before you went to Poland as well. So again, if you bring a guy like him, he looked good when he played us. He looked technically solid.
Oh, actually, I didn't forget to mention him. I put him in a different segment.
Yeah. So again, bringing him into the team.
He does look promising.
Yeah, he definitely looks talented.
We played him against Warsaw. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know who who's the other midfielder bringing in alongside Oyedele was Amogu, right? Amogu's one
Oyedele.
where I look at.
I'll be so honest.
So Amogu is one I look at. Amogu is one I look at spot, yeah, and I'm just like, bro, I barely when I was watching Strasbourg, yeah, and this guy's barely played for Saint Etienne.
Yes, I know.
And so I'm just questioning. He's not gonna.
He's not playing.
Oyedele started over him.
The whole Amogu thing. Yeah, I know he will. The whole Amogu thing in general is fucking stupid. You bought a guy 6 months into his first ever professional season, where it wasn't even like a case of like, okay, I'm trying to think of someone. Araujo, for example. You know, everyone was hyped about Thomas Araujo when he was in like his second full season. But okay, he played like 2,000 minutes up to the point we were interested in him. This guy played 500 minutes between the start of the season in January in his first ever season in for a shit team in League One, like the worst team I think. Didn't they finish bottom in League One?
Yes. I think they finished.
He might be.
But they had a great win. They had a really great win.
Yeah, he's not starting for them. But the only reason he might start for them is because again, I kind of looked at this. They have like no midfielders, by the way, like none. They have like
that's another thing. Like I'm really surprised by how quiet it's been at Strasbourg because they have no midfielders. They don't have a backup left back. Realistically, the attackers wise.
No, they have a backup left back. They got 3 left back. I think they might be signing another one. They got 3 left back. Yeah, they've got 3 left backs. They're fine.
All right, so it's essentially
they got
They need to
Because the
bring
other
one.
thing
They
they could do
brought in
is
the
they
centre back from Borussia Dortmund. which
Yeah,
is-
the other thing they
which
could
plugs
do
in
in
the
midfield,
hole.
they could put Barco in there because they've obviously got Diego Moreira. Obviously,
One
he
thing-
might leave, I don't know, but they've
One
also.
thing.
I don't know if you've put in here, Marshall. They're about to sign Samuel Smith from us for about 8 mil.
Yeah.
I was gonna save that for the next show.
One thing about
When more
I
news
know
develops.
obviously you don't want to speak about Ishmael Samuel Swift, but I
Mhm.
do think
Yeah, you could talk
someone
about it. We'll talk
from
about it again next
Strasbourg-
time.
yeah, but one thing I will say in terms of again anything outgoing I'm going to discuss, I do think maybe Barco might be coming to Chelsea. I think Barco this
As a backup left back if Hato doesn't happen.
yeah no because I don't think it'll be DGC because I think DGC is just he's a proper like wing back in my personal opinion. And
Sure.
But I think Barco might be
What did
the
they sign
backup
Barco
left back.
for?
I think it was like really low. I think it was like what 15, 16.
I'll find it.
It's 15, 16. But essentially, I do believe, guys, that Barco is going to be coming to Chelsea very soon. That's the way it's looking like to me.
10 million euro.
Yeah, so I think the thing for me with him, or cold feet, to answer your question, I don't think he flopped at Brighton. Brighton just did not give him a chance. They just
Brighton
they
didn't play.
played, but Brighton literally
Brighton
played their
didn't play
main
at
guy. Brighton played their nepotism guy, Insull. If you know what I'm calling nepotism, feel free to find out Insull's history and who his parents played for and his grandfather played for. But
It wasn't
It's not
stupid.
he's an industry plant. It's not nepotism, man.
okay, sorry, got the red wrong essentially, but you know what I mean. But essentially, the point I'm trying to make is that he didn't get enough chances at Brighton, and Brighton were playing Insull over him the vast majority. I think for me, Barker being a backup for you is I actually think he does a good job, great defensively, and he's good going forward. And again, one of the things that at least in our team that is technically sound players, and he's technically sound too, which is something that we need in it.
Yeah. I'm liking that there's business going on for Strasbourg right now, because in comparison to last season, it just didn't. Maybe not last season, but the first season.
Last season, they got their business done early, bro. They got back early. They got everyone in early.
I'm conflating it with the season prior, where like we kind of took over them and we didn't really do much. It didn't seem like we did much. It was just loans and it wasn't.
No,
really
we
much
just sold.
negotiating.
No. In our first season of them, we
yeah.
sold all of their old players, bro.
Completely
That's it.
destroyed what the team was. Like we kind of exactly what
Barely
happened at Chelsea.
qualified.
We just
Literally barely qualified, by the way, for Liga and so that season.
yeah.
That was bad.
I'll
So
be
it's
honest,
good to see
I
that
don't
they're not
think, by the way,
neglecting
just
it.
on the Barco thing, but I'm just having to think here.
Sure.
Not that I think these owners care. A large portion of those Strasbourg fans already hates this ownership group for understandable reasons. If you understand their history,
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
if they were to just literally have like, Barco was really good for them last season. If they would just sign him on a permanent, literally to send him after 1 year to Chelsea, so that like, and they get Samuel Smith as the replacement. I'm not even saying Samuel Smith is a bad player, but like, he's probably not going to start for them, especially if Moreira's still there. Bro, that's more fuel to the fire, man.
I promise you that's what's gonna happen.
It probably will. I'm just saying, you just
And you
adding
know
more
what's
fuel
funny?
to the fire for these guys.
You know what's funny, bro? I'll tell you this for free. They don't care, bro.
No, I know they don't.
They don't care, bro. They will do that as well. That's the one thing, yeah, about this ownership that you can definitely say for sure. Give a shit. They will do it. And the thing is, man, and I hate to say this for Strasbourg fans, it's not gonna change anytime soon either. That's the heartbreaking situation, bro.
No, it's not. No, 100% not. All right, cool. Let's actually talk about another player that is probably. Let's start talking about Chelsea and players that are probably going to be leaving, and this next one's another one of those players. But before we actually get into that, guys, there's over 130 of you watching. We need those likes smashed up. So big up to every single one of you for joining in on the conversation, joining in on the chat, and joining in on the channel. Be sure to smash up the like on your way in. Helps out the channel tremendously, as we are all here making some content, discussing some football for you guys. So let's go ahead and get into the first player I want to discuss on his way out, as we head into the main event of today's show. Let's talk about Felix To Benfica. One of the...
Are you serious? Are you actually serious?
Damn. Yeah, dude.
Who the hell cares about João Felix, bro?
Hey, chat. Do you want me to make a poll? We'll say, wait, what do you mean, who cares? You want him to stay?
Brother, I don't even care about if he's here or not. I just couldn't give a shit about the player at this point.
Then get him out.
I feel that. I actually feel that. Who gives a shit? Like,
I'm so sorry.
I mean,
to say
I
it.
don't care about the player either, but I'm sorry, I'm not making news for you. I'm making news for the broad audience.
I mean,
And-
I think the board obviously has forgotten that he even exists at Chelsea.
I think there's people in the broad audience that want this motherfucker gone,
I should
including
say to
myself.
remind you.
I'm here to remind you, hey, he's still here and he's hogging up wages. Get him gone. So
wages is he
let's talk about it. So Benfica are preparing to bid 20 million euros to Chelsea for João Felix. We continue on. And take some of these sources with a pinch of salt. There's a lot of rumors going about. So Benfica have prioritized the signing of Chelsea forward João Felix this summer. Chelsea want close to 46 million pounds. So I don't know if they're going to get that, but
well, I'm not entirely surprised at that at all.
I
That
just
doesn't-
don't think they're going to get that. That seems like
No, of course,
too
they're
steep
not.
of
Of
a
course they're
price.
not. But that's
We
literally
paid
what we paid.
45, didn't we?
We
Yeah.
paid basically like we paid like 45
We're
points.
not standing up to Benfica.
Yeah.
And someone did a quick
Benfica.
calculation for me. It's at 46 million euros, right? That was in euros, correct?
No, that was pounds.
1,000 pounds, dude.
All right, so let's just do one of these quick maths. 46 divided by
What?
That's
5
50 million euros,
is
right?
8.2
I'm
million.
doing math.
basically.
Here we go.
What? It's 8.2 million, right? I'm just going to do something quickly. 8.2 million times
Here
that
we
by
go.
4 is going to be 30.
It's 53 million euros.
No. I'm not doing euros. I'm doing it in pounds. 8.2 times by 4 is 32.8. So basically, that's how much you've got left on him. That's a
No,
book
it's
value transfer. Yes, it is. Because I just
No,
did
it's
the
not. We
calculation.
paid, no. We paid 45 point something million for him.
Yes, I just did 46 million divided by 5. Because you remember, you have to do the divided by
I already
amortization.
told you that. I literally said that like 2 minutes ago, bro. You weren't listening.
Yes, I said that's what I calculated how much he's got left on the books. This book
Well,
value is only 32.
Arguing about Felix, we don't care apparently.
No, I'm arguing about how much
What?
he's
Touche,
got.
Chris. Touche.
Hey, Chris. Every now and then you get a singer in there, bro.
No, it just literally. But listen, essentially, he's got 32.8 million left on book value for the next 4 years. That's the point I'm trying to make. So the club probably, realistically, are probably looking for somewhere in the region of like maybe 30 to 32 million.
Who cares? Except like 25 and get the fucker out of the club. I don't care.
They probably want 30 million for him.
I mean, 25 would be great.
Yeah.
I think the club want 30 million for him. I'll be honest.
Benfica would be willing to make considerable financial effort to make the
Great.
transfer happen,
Put the money
but
in.
by submitting a 30 million euro offer to Chelsea for João Felix, but the player's salary remains a big problem as they have a 4 million euro a year as a salary ceiling. So this motherfucker wants more than 4
put the
million
money,
euros a
put the
year.
money in the bag.
No.
We'll give you Felix.
They have a ceiling of 4 million. That's the point.
Yeah,
They have.
implying that
But
there's a
Benfica's
problem
not
there
a rich club,
because
Marshall.
yeah.
Not a rich club.
How much is 4 million euro a year in salary in like a weekly format?
That's
I'm gonna
like, let me
60.
think.
Probably
That's like
60K.
80. That's like 80k euros a week, roughly.
Oh, brokies out here, bro. What the hell,
60.
man?
Bro, that's what we do these days as well. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Marshall, to
Yeah.
put this into perspective, just to put that into perspective, currently on his wages, which are 130k a week base,
Yeah.
if you convert that into euros, it's nearest makes no difference. Actually, no, it's 7.85 million euros is what he is currently on.
Oy vey, I don't think we might not get this done, boys.
He has to basically half his
He has to
wages.
take a wage cut. He has to take
He has
a
to
wage cut.
half his wages.
But that's the point. That's the point. I think we're trying to make, Marshall.
Mhm.
He ain't taking
He-
half. There's no way.
Like he's an expensive lad. That's the best way. That's
Yeah.
Not even that
that's lit.
expensive. It's just, they're broke. They can't offer those.
I don't still understand why there's no other. Where's the Saudi clubs, man? Where you at, big man?
I know,
What
like,
is- hang on. Marshall, not Marshall. Ahmed, you can only have 10 foreign players. What Saudi club is wasting a foreign spot on him?
Don't worry, man. There has to be someone stupid enough from there to do it, man.
yeah, but then you have like, I don't know, good image rights or something, you know. I don't know.
Come
Like
on,
who?
man. There has to be someone that's stupid enough that can.
Or maybe Al Ettifaq, because they were stupid
Maybe
enough
Al
to
Shabab,
hire.
man. Maybe Al Shabab, man. If they're as dumb as they are in Somalia, then maybe, man. Let's hope they can do this for us. Okay. If anyone that gets the reference for that,
Just
you know your name.
get his bum out of like.
Look,
this-
he even spoke Safa away from his sleep, bro. He had Felix, man. And he woke up, bro.
Did you wake up?
That's what I mean.
Oh god.
Surfer is the, you know, culprit
We woke
number
the
one
demon,
that
man.
wants this guy
We
gone.
woke the demon, man. You know what I mean?
Mhm. So this is the lady from Footy Mercado. Again, take it with a pinch of salt. Benfica have reportedly submitted an offer of 25 million euro for João Felix. For João Felix's 65% of his image rights, I guess. Wait, huh? This is really so weird. Benfica have reportedly submitted an offer of 25 million euro for João Felix's 65% rights.
I don't know how it works. Like, I don't know, like the full breakdown, but you can do this with players because Porto when Samu got signed, Atletico Madrid just retained a portion of his player rights. They just sold that today to Porto for an extra like 5 mil. I don't know how the fuck it works. I don't like.
Do you remember what guys when Dybala was almost going to Tottenham, but they had like the issue of his image rights because his image rights were owned by a company. Do you guys remember that?
I don't remember that, but
I don't remember it.
Yeah, well, Chris.
When was it?
No, this was like under Poch. This was under the
Oh,
Poch.
I never remember.
You see, Chris, man. You know, listen, man. You're not a football savant, man. You know what I mean? Don't love the game like that.
Sure. Yeah, obviously a player that has to get gone.
Yes, Tevez was owned by gangsters, by the way. Yes, Tevez had a literal guy own his fucking rights, by the way. You don't know that either. So that's how you. So yeah, that's another one. You know that to put into that one. Crazy.
Yeah, it's. What country was that, by the way?
Argentina. It's from Argentina. Yeah, Argentina.
Okay. Argentinian gangster. That's actually crazy, bro. But yeah, obviously a player that has to go. And yeah, now let's hope somehow we come to a negotiation with Benfica so this guy can get gone. 25 million euros. That's 10 tikes. Too much. Take the deal, and Chelsea give another 35 to Strasbourg. Okay.
I think he means 10 times too much. That's
10 times too much. Fair enough. But yeah, obviously a player that we got to get gone. Another player that has been heavily rumored with a departure, and a lot of people want him gone. And this is going to lead to one of our big talking points today. Is Jackson, man. Yeah. So Nicholas Jackson, rumored to be going to AC Milan. So let's get into this and discuss it. So a few things to bring up before we get into.
They love us in Milan, man.
A few things to get into before we actually get to the actual story there. But Chelsea are still discussing whether they need another forward on top of Pedro and Gittins, with Ekitike a potential target. Whether they move on another forward may depend on Nicholas Jackson departs or not. This is coming from Ben Jacobs about 2 weeks ago. So moving fast forwarding into earlier last week, Ornstein came out with this. There's clearly some noise around Nicholas Jackson's situation, but I repeat, it's not something I know that Chelsea are actively trying to bring about. I think they've huge respect for Nicholas Jackson and what he has achieved so far, and the potential that he has for growth. I just know that he's the type of player and profile that number of clubs like. I've spoken to them, and whenever you mention Jackson, they say he could become really, really good, and Chelsea will be aware of that themselves. And that's coming from Ornstein's Athletic podcast. Continuing on, Jackson doesn't want to leave Chelsea this summer. He aims to put the last few games behind him and get back to his best form. Taking on board all criticism and competition, he sees it all as a call to improve. Another forward who could depart Stamford Bridge is Nicholas Jackson. Is coming from The Athletic, who is not considered untouchable following the arrivals of João Pedro and Liam Delap. Fabrizio saying, be attentive Nicholas Jackson at Chelsea. I'm hearing he could leave this summer. It's getting concrete and serious interest from several clubs, including Premier League ones. AC Milan, according to Matty Moretto, have made an inquiry for Nicholas Jackson during talks for Archie Brown, as they share the same agent. Chelsea could be open to sell, but only for a significant fee. AC Milan Jackson has been in AC Milan's orbit since he was at Villarreal. AC Milan is very interested in Nicholas Jackson and continue to explore Jackson with great interest, given his valuation of around £43 million and the club's relationship with Chelsea, according to Alfred Pedulla. Nicholas Jackson has concrete chances to leave Chelsea. Clubs in the Premier League in Italy are calling to find out the eventual conditions of the deal, one to watch. Nicholas Jackson has chances to leave this summer. After Nani Madueke to Arsenal, he could be the next one to try a new chapter elsewhere. AC Milan have asked about Jackson, and the price is still too high. Premier League clubs are also keen and informed. AC Milan like Jackson, however, move is unlikely given Chelsea value Jackson as a potential £100 million striker. Wow. And aren't actively looking to sell him on. Potential £100 million striker. Are we buying it?
I think, again, listen, we know how this club works, man.
Wait, elaborate, please, because that one's crazy.
Listen, that last report is a genuine brief, you know what I mean? They're just trying to, like, you know, the point I think that's been trying to be that, like, oh, AC Milan ain't got enough money. So what do you think that means? Let's see if you can do a player swap, because these guys, I don't know if you noticed, bro.
They have enough money, by the way.
We know what that means, bro. They want a player swap deal to happen there, yeah, and we know they want Maignan allegedly still. Maybe if they do some Maignan plus 40 million, if they value Jackson at 60 million, because I think realistically they value Jackson at 50
wait,
million
Maignan plus 40 million for Jackson.
Because remember, again, like the club wanted to pay, what was it, like, what, 50
I
million?
don't think Milan will pay
12, I think it was.
Either way, so it would be what, 12 plus what, then either 38 or 48 million. Yeah, for Jackson. Within that range, right? That probably would be the more likely scenario to happen.
Curry.
But I think for me, and listen, we're not going to speak on Leao because
if we can't get Rodrigo or whoever, like, I wouldn't mind having a look at.
I think if we actually talk about
that, Rodrigo so bad, man.
Pardon?
Why do we want Rodrigo so bad?
I don't know. I want him.
I don't want Rodrigo.
I don't know. I just want him.
Yeah, Chris,
you misunderstood. No, I'm just saying I don't know why.
That's literally what you said. I don't know. I just want him.
Oh, let's go.
No, it was saying that I don't know why Chelsea don't want him, but I want him.
Well, I think the point,
we're not doing this.
Yes, but listen, we're being fair to Jackson here. I can't lie. Some of these aggregators are doing Jackson Day with some of these pictures they're posted of him. Can't lie to you. Have you seen some of the pictures? No, where he's crying. There's like one of the way he's crying, like showing him. I was like, damn, like, where are you doing that? But listen, Jackson's probably gonna leave. We all know this. Jao Pedro coming in. Obviously, Liam Delap coming in. Rumors led to us still wanted like a TK. It was inevitable that he's gonna leave. And I said before, I think for me, the red card at Newcastle, in my personal opinion, plus the poor form, and then getting that another red, right?
I think it was the second red that killed his career.
I think the second red obviously was like the nail in the coffin. So I think for me, like, his time at the club has been up. I think the question therein lies is who. I think Aston Villa is probably interested. We know that. I think that's very, very likely that Aston Villa's the club. They're going to be interested. I don't know. Maybe Man United. I know there's been like was a alleged report that United Jackson Madueke, which ironically I think he would suit their team a bit more. In that three in attack, you know, the Mbeumo, Konya thingy, in terms of his ability to hold up play, you know, turn, help create for the other two guys. I think he might be a bit more of a better fit there. But regardless, it's gonna come down to the fee in it. And right now, he's probably a 50-60 million striker in the market.
You think?
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Euros or pounds?
Pounds, British pound sterling. Because I think the thing is, if people are saying TK is 100 million euros, Setsko is like 90 million euros.
But how old is the TK? Like, isn't he like a lot younger?
Like, he's 22.
Is he
22? He's only 2 years younger than Jackson, bro. He's only 2 years younger than Jackson, if I'm not mistaken.
He only got, as I say, in his best goal scoring season was only 2 more league goals more than Jackson
exactly.
was. In a league that is known to be easy to score in.
Exactly, and so the point.
I just don't know who would like pay 60 million for Jackson, but like.
Can I ask you a question, Chris? Did you think someone's going to pay 52 million for Madueke, for example?
To me, like, maybe 40-something million, but like.
That's the point, right? No one thought. I didn't.
To me, Madueke. I don't know. I feel like I'd rather Madueke over Jackson. A quality.
No, Jackson's a better player than Madueke.
Jackson's a better player than Madueke. Yes, he is. Yeah, he is.
Sorry, I just, by the way, we're talking about a player for as many faults he hasn't, and this isn't me trying to defend him and say he should stay or whatever. I wouldn't have looked. He's got 42 GNA in 81 games for Chelsea, by the way.
But Madueke,
Jackson?
Yeah. Madueke, I think he has 12.
He has a goal or an assist every 2 games.
Oh, Madueke has only 28 GA and I think something like 70 or like 80 games, somewhere around about that.
That's why I tell people you're doing too much on Jackson.
Yeah.
Like as bad as he's been, which he's been bad lately. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it. He has redeemable qualities, but the redeemable qualities, in some people's opinions, don't outweigh the negative ones.
Yes.
I said the only issues with Jackson are twofold. Number one is the finishing is erratic as hell, and number two is the mentality. In terms of not that, like, when I say mentality,
self-control is the other one.
Yeah, it's the petulance and the lack of self-control and the temperament more than anything. That's what I mean. Outside of those two things, there's not really massive issues with him. Those two things. It's just those two things you can't really like look past when you have other players like with who we brought in. Like
I just
to
think,
play over him. Like he's definitely worth at least 60. And the thing is, why we'll see just on the point of like with other teams, that's something we're gonna have to wait on then, because like you look at the other teams, Man United, I think if they went for him, it would be last case scenario because they just have missed out on everyone else. Who else did you mention? That he might
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa is entirely dependent on Watkins leaving. Entirely.
Apparently Newcastle are interested in him as a backup to Isak.
What, Jackson?
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't. I don't think they would pay 60 million for him as a backup, bro.
On the AC Milan.
They're not Arsenal.
Let's also take into consideration Isak last season is one of the first seasons where he was not out for an extended amount of time. Usually he's also injury prone. So something to account for. Go ahead, Scott.
I was gonna say with the AC Milan thing, by the way, they have money. Like this idea they don't have money, they have money. They're just not going to spend 60 million on a striker. The only reason they might spend 60 million on a striker is if they get desperate towards the end of the window, because they only currently have one striker in their whole team. Like I think they got rid of 4 strikers in the off season, whether through releases or just sending guys back out on loan or selling them in Morata's case. They've got rid of all their strikers outside of Santi Jimenez. They're about to spend. They have just spent they're waiting on one transfer, but it's basically going to go through. In the space of a week or two, they will have spent 60 million on 2 centre mids. So they have money. This idea they don't have money is nonsense. They have American owners as well who are not too dissimilar, I think, to what Clear Lake do. So they have the money to spend. It's just whether they'll actually spend it, and whether they spend it correctly is another thing, as they have shown they have an inability to spend correctly.
No, I agree.
I think this whole Jackson thing, I think, is going to be one that takes time. This isn't going to be something that's quick. But I don't really for me, it's not one you have to get done instantly, because I still think even if he stays here, it's not an issue, because you've got pieces you can move around. And even if he leaves, I don't even think you need another player coming in. Necessarily, I get from a numbers perspective, but I still think we have enough. I only really think you need 2 main strikers, and then the third one is always just some academy you or some 30-something-year-old or whatever. It's if that's the case, just keep Hiu for a third choice.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, or promote Ronnie Stutter or something. I don't know. First name that came to mind. It's the third choice.
Third choice for what?
Striker.
For striker, I think realistically, I don't think we're going for a striker. I just don't think.
No, we probably might, but we shouldn't. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
even if Jackson goes,
I think
we
the
should
thing
look
about
don't get a left winger. Maybe you need another number 10, but I don't know. I probably don't.
The thing is, they clearly are going for one more player in attack. And the thing is, I feel unironically, this is the most obscure one, because they're very much trying to keep their cards close to their chest to whoever whoever this person is. So I'm definitely interested to see who it is, in my personal opinion, because I don't think it's I do think this is the one that they wanted to buy. I think, if that makes sense. This is the one they wanted. If that makes sense. I know obviously they wanted João Pedro, kind of essentially came out towards the end, right? And then obviously the next guy, Gittins, they already had long-standing interest in since January. So I think for me, this next person has to be someone they've been targeting for quite a while, and they've just been keeping their class close to whoever that is. So until we find out who it is, I'm gonna remain quiet on it.
No speculation.
No speculation. I know he's chasing Morgan
Morgan Rogers would be such a good signing, man, because it would link. It would help with so many things.
Yeah.
It would help with so many things. He can play left wing. He can play 10. He can, in a pinch, play striker. Like, he understands Maresca from the City links. He understands a bunch of other players, whether that's from City or the England team. He played with Palmer. He's played with... Who else we got that's English in the team?
Oh.
He didn't play with Reece, I don't think.
Big up CB. Thank you for the £1.99 super chat. Peter, you owe me a Wispy Wiccan Werger.
He plays with a couple of others. I really hope it's not Garnacho. Do you know what the worst bit about
I really don't think it'll be Garnacho either. I just think the problem.
The worst bit about the Garnacho thing is he actually, like, I think you said this before, he actually fits the, like.
I said this before. Garnacho fits the team. Realistically, if you put emotions and all of this,
I've been saying. Oh my god, never mind. Go on.
No. Listen, I said this first. I said if you remove your emotions out of the equation and the stuff that happens off the pitch of Garnacho,
yes,
he does suit the team.
But the annoying thing is like from a what they look at in terms of like with what we know they look at in terms of for signings, he actually fits what they target. He's versatile, can play on both wings and could, because I think he has actually played here before. He could play number 10, like as like a real like.
I know it makes sense. It does. It does make sense. No, yeah.
Statistically, in terms of what they look at, like he's a high volume shooter who has, like, in terms of you look at stats on like FBref, it's actually all right. It's not
he
tragic.
takes like 4 or 5 shots a game.
Yeah, we just watch with our eyes and know that he is shockingly bad. Like, he's one of the worst wingers in this league.
I don't think you listen, Demonent. I think Demonent's it might be like a loanable option. I actually think that might happen if, like, even if they sign someone else. I could see maybe already where they sign the other person. You lose Jackson, you lose Nkunku, if Nkunku eventually goes, which I actually don't think they're in a hurry to sell Nkunku anymore. Which I've said before. And the other guy, obviously, Madueke already left now. You could do a reality where all those 3 leave, and then maybe you bring in 1 or 2 more, right? And then you say, you know what, Garnacho will take a punt on you, because they did that with Sancho already. They took a punt of Sancho, and they were able to get out of it, that 5 million thing. But I think for me, it won't be Garnacho. I do think, if I was to guess, Malick Fofana might be one of them, right? If they say we're gonna take another punt on another kid, right? Morgan Rogers, I think, if they have enough capital, and then they also not actively want Jackson, they may try to do. They might actually do a deal to get that happening, right? Who's another one that I was thinking? Listen, you guys know about my Leao theory. I hope it's not true, but the
more time goes on, the less I think that happens. Just because
I agree to you. That's why I've always said, like,
because I think with that as well is like I think this window, there's been, for all of their faults, and there are many, the one thing they haven't really done is have a level of panic about them.
I agree actually. For once,
so like all of the what's it called? All of the Mendes clients that we signed, it always felt as though there was an element of panic in terms of like the Felix one.
It's been going to Mendes.
It was like the whole Samu thing fell through, and it's like, shit, what do? We need to get rid of Gallagher. Oh, Mendes as a client there. We'll speak with Mendes. We got Felix. The whole Neto thing, we just needed a winger. Like, we desperately needed a winger. Oh, shit, what do? Mendes is right there, and we got Neto, and it has turned out well, at least in the Club World Cup, at least. So, like, at least this season, so far, there hasn't been that level of panic in terms of what we do. You see with the whole Gittins thing, with the fact they took 3 months to manage to negotiate the same transfer fee that originally was what Dortmund wanted. Like, there wasn't a level of panic there.
The only other two that I could see, I know people mentioned Ekitike. The thing with getting Ekitike,
I would not get Ekitike under any circumstance.
The thing for me with Ekitike, is that you already got now João Pedro in that situation. You've got Liam Delap in that situation. I'm not sure the Ekitike into that mix is going to be viable. That's the way I look at it. We're just bringing a guy like him to the team. Like, if you're going to bring in someone, it has to be like a 10er wing. It can't be 10er striker.
Now, to be fair, the Ekitike thing would. The only way the Ekitike thing makes sense is if he's going to be the starter striker and you move João Pedro to like starting left. 10,
I think we're going to start with 2 strikers this season. Though I don't know about you. I think
it doesn't make sense though.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense when you consider we bought Gittins, we bought João Pedro, and Delap is already here.
Yes,
all of those players can't coexist in the team. The only other time I can remember us buying 3 strikers in one window that were actually going to be in the first team was 2014 when Jose he just overhauled the striker department.
I was going to say, I think I looked, Peter. I think the last time I can remember that we did it where it was like 3 starting level strikers. Was we had for 6 months, because I think we bought one in January. We had like Drogba, Torres, and someone else.
Probably Anelka.
Anelka? Yeah,
I think it was Anelka. I think we had Anelka.
That was only half a season. It was only half.
Yeah, I think we had Anelka for 6 months, and then he left at the end of the season on a free.
But my
or bar it might have been. Yeah, it was one of those. Like that's the last time we had to, like we do that. And this is I keep trying to tell you guys, we don't need 3 strikers in terms of 3 starting level strikers. You have 2 guys battling out, and then the third guy is like what we have with Giroud. Yeah, what you have is Giroud, or you have like a Hiu where it's a young guy from the academy and get
the only reason it worked when we had Costa, Remy, and Drogba is because everybody knew really what their role in the team was going to be.
Yeah.
But like with Delap, with João Pedro, and if you were to add an Ekitike to the mix, all those guys are trying to be the starting striker, and in their mind they have a genuine claim to it. So I don't like the idea of sinking a bunch of money into one position to stock it with 3 players. So I think they're all good players in their own right. But we have other holes in our team. But the reason I don't see them putting João Pedro on the left and playing Ekitike is because they just bought Gittins for all that money.
Yeah, that's fair.
But what if it's Ahmed, I was going to go to you actually. What if it's, to what Pete's saying, what if it's the theory that we are trying to monopolize the striker market in a sense? To try to get rid of Jackson as well.
That sounds good in private equity, but that's stupid in practice for a team.
The problem becomes, because even I had thought initially that's what we were planning to do when we initially bought Delap and we were targeting Ekitike. Right? I thought you're trying to take these 2 guys off the pitch because then essentially you're trying to create like a monopoly where the prices are going up essentially because there's only so little remaining. The problem with that is that you know how clubs work. They'll be like, we know you got too many strikers, so we're basically gonna start lowballing you essentially because we know you're desperate to move on from X player, which in our case would be Jackson essentially. So I just don't see that being the case with the way.
I don't think clubs think like this, man. We've gone too far in the venture capital direction. You wouldn't do this because you wouldn't want to have 3 strikers to make it confusing for your head coach.
Yeah, that as well.
Typically plays one at a time.
The other thing you don't want as well, like,
is if we're playing 2 up top pretty regularly.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes.
Yeah.
But then I think if that's the case, like, I don't think we're gonna play 3 up top regularly because then you wouldn't have we've got 4 wingers currently at the club.
Yes.
And we're already we're looking at another one with Noni leaving, which would make no sense because if we play 2 strikers, Palmer would have to play on the wing.
Yes.
Which means that one of the wingers, either Neto, who's had a great preseason, Esteval, who you've put so much stock in, Gittins, who you've just bought, or this new winger you've just bought, is getting no game time. So I don't think we're playing 2 strikers next season, unless one of them is like that left winger 10 thing we've seen him do this tournament with like Palmer or
it would make sense for that left winger 10 cover person to just be Morgan Rogers.
Yeah.
Have that person try and deputize up top at all. Leave that to João Pedro. Leave that to Liam Delap. You have Gittins on the left. They have Esteval. They have Nani, or not Nani, Neto. So if you want to have a 4th wide option, have that person also double as cover for Cole Palmer and the number 10.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the Morgan Rogers idea makes sense to me. It really just depends how badly Villa need money. But that doesn't seem like a deal that would take that long.
Can you send me that, Ahmed? Also, say what you're going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think for me, the way that Amanda's been playing, right, for example, I don't know if you've been necessarily, yes, you've got a winger, but like it feels like Bar and Neto has been a bit more the out wide and wide. Like if you look at the other 2, like the way Palmer plays, the way Nkunku plays, they've been playing a lot more central. It's not been more wing play, they've been playing a bit more central. So like essentially we've been playing like essentially one winger and the rest of them are like kind of playing like pseudo 10s. If that makes sense. So for me, like again, the guy you want to bring in has to be like another 10 that can add to that, if that makes sense. Yeah.
That's why for me, Ahmed, I don't think the Fofana signing makes any sense anymore. Because
I think so too, yeah. It has to be a 10 now. Yeah.
If you've shown you've got another club in your bag with this slightly change in formation in terms of having the wide player come inside and have the Kukurea in more often than not, be the guy overlapping. For me, it makes no sense to have both your left winger options be out and out left wingers who can't do that. Gittins, we already know, we've seen it from Dortmund this season. He can't do that.
Can I give a hot take here? I want to give a hot take.
I don't think
Malick
Malick Fofana, you're getting the best out of him doing it. I don't think he can do it either. So I think if you're going to get another left winger,
there's a player I'm going to say
both.
that was in Kuku's replacement at RB Leipzig.
Well, you talking about Noosa?
No. Javi Simmons. That's what I'm talking about.
No way.
Oh,
man.
he's been linked to us a few
not-
times now.
And the thing is,
the thing with Xavi Simmons is they're
wait.
not going to pay the Arsenal
Wait.
price.
wait, the thing is, they have been linked. We have been linked quite a few times to this player before, and like we've actually been looking at him, been scouting him as well. So I think his price has been currently quoted at 70 to 80 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say the last I saw, like the last I saw about Simmons was like just after they bought him, like permanently, there was talk of him wanting to move on, and it was like 85 million.
That the thing is though,
Because they paid like something stupid for him.
70.
Yeah,
they
they
paid
paid, like-
70 million for him. They paid 70
Yeah.
million for him. Yeah. So for me,
And
the
they
thing
just
is,
bought
yeah,
him. So it's not
I
even like they,
understand that.
like, if they want to do the book value thing, they have to sell him for a profit. So it's going to be 80 mil plus.
I think. Listen, I think he's one to watch. I'd probably say.
I don't think
the
he.
club will
I'll be
pay.
honest. I don't think he moves this summer. I think he moves next summer.
Yeah, because
I
like
just don't
he's
think
obviously.
He was linked to moves last summer too.
Yeah. So,
No, but
I
that
think
was,
for me,
that was before he like moved permanently. That makes sense.
Obviously,
Like I said, they just paid 70 mil. They'd have to get 80. Who's
I was
paying
thinking
80
about.
right now?
So I was thinking about 10 that we could target, other than obviously like Morgan Rogers and other people. He came into, like, obviously he's obviously one option that you can think of. Another guy that I was thinking about, which I know the club didn't go after. Spurs got him now. Morgan Gibbs White. I don't think he would have suited us. actually.
Kudus was there and had the same
Actually,
thing. They were
Kudus-
right winger.
Kudus-
Apparently that move didn't go through. The Morgan
Oh,
White move.
bro, this whole I don't understand, bro. By the way, I need to get this out there. Fuck Nottingham Forest, man. Fuck you, UEFA.
Wait, why?
Do you not see, bro? Crystal Palace got flipping moved
Why?
to the Conference League, bro, because of these idiots.
Wait,
And
can someone elaborate what happened? Because I actually
Basically,
So-
they got
so Nottingham Forest snitched on the fact that Crystal Palace and Lyon
it's
were
off.
both
It's because
in
of that.
the Europa League. Yeah, they snitched, and that's why UEFA investigated. UEFA said today that Crystal Palace have been relegated to the Conference League,
pending appeal, basically.
and so Forest are now in the Europa League next season.
Wow.
There's so much to unpack with this. It would take a while, but like I said, I simply want to say fuck Nottingham Forest, fuck their owner. By the way, what also came out today is their owner is apparently pissed at this Morgan Gibbs White situation, which is jokes. How can you be pissed at a release clause that you put in his contract? You fucking moron! Like he's an absolute baby.
True.
Like he's such a baby. But yeah, and then this whole thing that UEFA have done, they've set such a bad precedent. Like Nottingham
There's another
Forest
guy.
and UEFA have set such a bad precedent.
I thought of another Brighton player that the club could target him, but
Who?
it can't be him. It won't be him.
Oh, what, Ruta?
I was thinking him, and I was like, nah, there's no way they would target him.
Bro, they just bought him for 40 million last year.
That's what I'm
They-
saying.
they
There's
lost-
no way we would go to double dip in Brighton for another season. Even and the thing is, he actually can play striker and 10, by the way, as well. So so I was like, yeah, there's no way we're gonna get him again.
Yeah.
This is the thing, like, you know, again, a lot of the 10s that you probably wanted to bring in, yeah, unless you really are just targeting, you know, Morgan Rogers have all gone. Like Cherky left. And
I also think the 10 thing, like we're seeing now, I think that this idea of the 10 thing was always going to be someone who could play both, because
Yes.
we saw last season, like
It has to be.
it had to
Yeah.
be, because Palmer is playing, and I will say this every single stream, he is playing 99% of games next season. So he's
Palmer's
not getting
playing
moved.
every single. He's going to play every single Champions League game while qualification is in doubt in the league phase, and he's playing every league match he's available for.
Exactly. The only games he's not playing for is the early round of the cup games, and then the games in the Champions League that once qualification is secured. That's it. So he's playing 99% of games next season. So you were never going to go and get someone who is like a Felix or an Nkunku, where like all they can really do is play the 10 spot and just be his backup. It was always going to be like Esteval was potentially his backup because he can also play both. Kudus could also do the cam thing. This Rogers thing, he can play multiple positions. João Pedro. So yeah, like you have to find someone who can play both, and then all of a sudden your pool is like it's slimmer because you have to find someone who's comfortable in both positions, and then you have to find someone who's available because not everyone's available, and then you have to find someone who's going to fit what you're doing in terms of like the system and everything.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, Ende's available, but I don't. Again, I think he's just Arsenal banned. Unless we've obviously been doing.
I don't think he's Arsenal banned. I don't know what's happening with that.
That may or may not happen. We'll see.
The thing is,
that's another one I vouched for before too.
If he's not Arsenal bound, I don't know. I might be
like
60 million for him.
He's probably.
Hold on. How old is he?
He's 27.
26.
Yeah.
Yep,
27.
that's dead on.
Oi, Ranieri actually makes sense as well now. Ranieri makes sense. Ranieri makes sense. That's why I even target him too.
I don't think that makes a ton of sense from the.
Yeah, I was gonna say the reason why Ranieri thing doesn't make sense is because he literally doesn't fit what I just said. Like he played on the wing last. Yeah, but he is just a 10. Like this thing, if he played on the wing last season, he only played there because he was the Saka backup because they had no one else. And even like I've seen little bits, I didn't watch too much. Obviously, he didn't play that much, but I didn't watch too much of Arsenal. But I've seen little bit of clips here and there. Like the way he moves is not like a natural winger because he's not a natural winger. He's a 10. So like, from a tactical perspective, Ranieri really doesn't make any sense. From a vibes and just to piss off Arsenal, it makes all the sense in the world.
This doesn't solve the issue either.
Yeah.
By recalling Quenda would really piss off Sporting because the terms of that deal was he goes back on loan anyways. Yeah. But that would be 3 right wingers and Neto, Esteval, and Quenda, and 1 left.
Isn't he a left winger though, if I'm not mistaken? No.
He could play both.
Oh,
I mean, sure. Like he could. As far as like development, because we're talking about creating pathways for these guys. Do you think it would be better for him to get minutes at Sporting for another season, or to play backup behind Gittins, he's the starter until a better option on the left side is signed, right?
Yeah.
It's much better for him. It's much better for him to be there. He gets Champions League football as well to play in. So there's no point of us bringing him to the league, bro. It's the same thing.
The more I think about it, Rodgers is the only option that ticks both boxes. Exactly. That is gettable, kind of regardless of what stage we are in the window, and fits the age profile. I don't think Chelsea are putting down 60 mil plus for Eze. I could be wrong, but I just don't think that's gonna happen. But I wouldn't be against that. But considering they like to buy guys in their early 20s, I think Rodgers makes the most sense. But we'll see.
It also makes the most sense in terms of one thing we've seen with these owners, obviously with the abundance of players, and don't be surprised if it becomes a trend in the future. They really want to trade players. They really do. They want to negotiate using players to, balance out prices and so on and so forth. We've done that essentially already with Aston Villa. Or we were close to as well with Duran, like with the Omari Kellyman thing. I could see a potential deal that could happen where if they were to sell on Ollie Watkins, if Gyökeres doesn't happen, which looking more and more that it might not happen for Arsenal, they'll fall back on Ollie Watkins. If Ollie Watkins goes,
can we be fair,
Good Evening. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I've blanked down the name. Good Evening has already worked with Jackson. They go for Jackson. Then we can say, hey, if you give us Rodgers, we'll kind of negotiate a cheaper price for Jackson. It could be something that helps us out because they're not in a position to really negotiate either. They just sold their own women's team for PSR reasons.
Yeah, I just think for me, my thing about the player trading thing is, it only happened due to FFP when a lot of clubs were worried about FFP. Other than that, player trading in general has not happened, bro.
I'm not saying it has happened. I'm saying don't be surprised if it starts to happen now.
What is it?
Like they've been pushing it. They've been pushing it for the last 3 seasons. They haven't stopped. It's because they see something in it.
You can push it, but if the industry is not accepting it, then you can only push it so far, right? because you
They're not
can't just.
accepting it yet.
I mean,
I don't think the industry accepting it or not matters. It really comes down to the clubs in the situation. If they want Jackson and they view Rodgers as expendable for one reason or another, then like it could happen. It makes sense.
Villa just got fined by UEFA too, so they're not necessarily in the best financial position.
They also passed PSR, so I'm gonna be honest. They're not in the worst financial situation. They just sold their women's team as well. And the whole thing with the Rodgers, the reason I don't think the Rodgers thing happens is he is their crown jewel currently in their team. Like, look at everyone. They're trying to get rid of Ramsey. I've seen Bailey been linked away. Watkins has been linked away. They like all of these guys. I saw McGinn got linked with. What the fuck was it? Celtic
I feel like I've seen their entire team besides Morgan Rodgers linked with.
And whenever we see what offers they want, it's 80 mil plus, which is not surprising because this is a guy they can build their team around for the next 2-3 years.
Hey man, we'll give him Jackson and Kellyman for Morgan Rodgers. Let's do it.
He can play multiple positions. Like he is a guy they can build around. Whether he plays in the 9, okay, you've got a prime 9 you can build the rest of your team around. Okay, maybe he's a 10. Okay, then you have to go and buy the right 10 to play with. Like, or if he's left wing or whatever. Like, I see them selling anyone else apart from him. That's not me saying I don't want us to go for him. Like, if you can try and find a way to get him, get him. But I just think it's very likely to sell him.
It's definitely going to be one to watch because the links haven't died down. Like, they're still around. It hasn't gone quiet. And again, we love our ex-Man City players, don't we?
Those links won't quiet though because we have like half of City's former academy in our team.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And yeah, definitely something to keep an eye out for. I mean, Malick Fofana doesn't make sense anymore. But damn, that's such a good player that I really wish we could get. We'll discuss him in a segment coming up. But let's actually move on to another player that has now made a move and it's done and dusted and we can put it behind us now. Madueke, here we go.
Money Nation gone. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll just do this one for Ahmed. There you go, Ahmed. RIP, Nani Nation. Okay. Let's go ahead and read some of these tweets. So, sources, this was from a few days ago. Sam C reporting, sources have told me that Chelsea and Arsenal are discussing a figure around £40 million mark for Madueke. Telegraph also reported that apparently over 2,200 signatures have been made online for Arsenal fans against the potential signing of Nani Madueke. Madueke decided to seek a new challenge away from Chelsea after the club signed Delap, Esteval Gittins, and João Pedro. For Arsenal to sign Madueke, Chelsea will want in excess of £50 million. Madueke still has 5 years left on his contract, so Chelsea are under no pressure to sell. No talks between the clubs have taken place, and this was only 3 days ago when it was reported. And we have here Matlaw saying also as well that Arsenal have made background checks on Nani, with Chelsea braced for a direct approach for the winger. This leading up to this from Fabrizio Romano that Arsenal have submitted an initial bid on Nani Madueke for a package around £50 million, add-ons included. Chelsea want more than £50 million fixed as Langa/similar deals remain their reference. Good relationships between clubs as talks continue. Madueke agreed terms with Arsenal already. And then the Ornstein Bamba. Arsenal made contact with Chelsea over move for Nani Madueke. Clubs now in talks after 23-year-old winger agreed personal terms on proposed 5-year contract. No deal yet, but England international prioritizing Arsenal above any other interest sides the Athletic. Breaking, Arsenal has submitted initial bid for Nani Madueke, coming also from Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal close to an agreement with Chelsea to sign Nani Madueke. Clubs nearing a compromise for 23-year-old winger to join Arsenal from Chelsea in a £52 million deal. 5-year contract in place. England international in the United States as talks enter final stages. And we have here we go. Exclusive, Nani Madueke to Arsenal, here we go. Fee agreed, in excess of £50 million with add-ons included. Green light from Chelsea. Madueke already agreed 5-year deal at Arsenal days ago, and he's now set to complete the move. The winger leaves Chelsea to join Arsenal. Chelsea and Arsenal talks for Madueke went very fast because of the great relationship between clubs. Arsenal believe he has a lot of potential still. Arteta has been pushing for the player and spoke to him in recent days, even before the agreement, according to Fabrizio Romano. This is something I wanted to point out here. The Times reports that Andrea Berta believes Arsenal are not overpaying for Nani Madueke, but launching a 50 million bid. They added he is convinced that the Chelsea star is worth 65 million pounds in the current market. Not sure how reliable this is, but let's just say it is. Ornstein saying here that Nani Madueke granted permission by Chelsea to leave the U.S. camp and undertake medical before completing Arsenal. 23-year-old will not train with Chelsea. Flies to the U.K. today after full agreement reached on 52 million pound deal, 5-year contract in place from the Athletic. Woo! Nani Madueke. I'll just get these in now while I can. Let's see, where are we? Where is Nani? They changed the layout of StreamYard. Oh, here we go.
It's too bro, are you good, bro?
See a straw?
Were you rolling? I'm out of here, man.
Are you lying for the camera, bro? Don't let me get on the camera and tell me the truth.
And then when the price was announced, obviously play this one too. Yeah, that's probably going to be one of the last times I have Nani clips available ever again now. My honest opinion on this whole Nani situation, just speaking on the player himself, I think I like the player. I think he's always had a good attitude, good person to have in the locker room, Mandem FC, all that stuff. That's great. In terms of the performances on the pitch, the athlete, hit or miss, very 50-50. Considering we got him for what, 27 million pounds from PSV, and we've amortized that. Right now, we've only had him for two years, pretty much 2.5 years.
3 seasons.
Yeah, 3 seasons. I'll take it. Obviously, it's a great deal. It's a fantastic deal for the player that we have, and it's a shame it didn't work out. I don't think he's shit. I think he's a good player, but yeah, it just didn't work out at Chelsea. And I agree with people when they say he's not Chelsea level. It's showing more and more in recent games as well, because he's just been so frustrating to watch, and just things not coming off for him. But,
Wait, man who's Nani Nation is what? Doing what noises?
What was that?
I thought it was CP.
What? No, bro, you can literally see his mouth moving, brother. What the?
Okay, he's getting drops for his eyes right now, but yeah, it's the Mandem FC era is now over, which, all right, whatever. But yeah, if we improve on him, if Esteval is going to be an improvement on him, who cares? I don't care, and I do think Esteval will be an improvement on him. Gittins, time will tell. João Pedro, I think, is an improvement on him. Palmer's obviously better on the right than him. It just didn't work out. It is what it is. If he ends up, I think he does improve Arsenal, even as a backup to Saka. I think it's great. I think he is potentially going to be their best left winger option if he, cooks there. But yeah, what do you guys think of the move? Obviously, everyone has an opinion on this one. This is like a big signing. And the Arsenal fans are not happy about it. They're like tagging the streets and
I give my own opinion.
Go for it. I'll even do this for you. How about that? You got the floor.
No. This is not my opinion. This is separate. Obviously, when I get to that, the one thing I do want to talk about, I think them signing petitions, some of the stuff that I've seen online,
it's too much. It's too much.
I think you listen. Yeah, obviously, like we sadly lost a footballer, bro, just last week, bro. Right? Which was fucked up, right? And then this week, bro, we're giving insane, horrible abuse to someone because your own club likes him and they've signed him, bro. You know what I mean? It's not the player's fault, bro. Like, why are we doing this sort of stuff, bro? Like,
I'll be so honest.
On that note, by the way, Ahmed, on that note, one thing I am happy about when it comes to him leaving, I'm so happy that I don't have to hear this bullshit character assassination on a fucking weekly basis about him.
About Mandem FC and all that stuff.
I am so glad that the amount of bullshit the amount of bullshit that I've had to read on Twitter and hear online and read in chats and all that shit on a constant basis about
just
this
because
player.
someone has a personality, bro.
If you don't rate him as a footballer, fine.
Imagine having
That's
a personality.
I don't particularly rate some players in this team. I don't particularly rate some players we've sold. That's calm. But when you want to do this fucking nonsense character assassination bullshit, he's a snake. Fuck him. Why is he going
That's
now?
ridiculous.
All of this. Oh, thank God we got his ego out of the dressing room. Thank God we got Mandem FC. Like, fuck you. Like, go fuck yourself. It's quite clear. If you go and look at all the clips and shit online, it's quite clear that the vibes were really good in the locker room with him.
Yeah,
he was well liked. This ego bullshit, nonsense. Because people won't talk about ego when it comes to some players because it's calm. We don't have to talk about ego in some players. It's absolutely fucking bullshit character assassination. I'm so glad I don't have to listen to it anymore.
That's what I was saying. Like, I just think for me, the stuff that some of these Arsenal fans are doing, bro, it's disgusting, bro. Like, again,
no, I wasn't even talking about Arsenal fans.
No. You're talking about our fans, which is fine because I wasn't even talking about them initially, but because I was specifically talking about the transfers going on with the transfer in general. Like, bro, doing the stuff they're doing, bro, it's just too much, bro. You know what I mean? It's not the end of this guy is not a wash player. He's not a shit player. Like, I just don't understand why we're going this head and shoulders over stuff, with the online stuff, bro. Because you know what's funny? Again, I always say this before. They will never say it to this guy's face, bro. You know what I mean? We all know it's true. You know, they will never say it to this guy's face, but you know, online we'll do all this lovely nonsense, and then do this shit. That's what I don't like personally. That's what I just don't like personally, right? In my personal opinion, in terms of transfer. The stuff with Chelsea, the Mandem FC stuff, that stuff, bro, was always rubbish, and I called it out every single time. It's like that's what me and Scott used to do all the time, because that shit, you know, shut up, Axe, man. You know what I mean? But like the problem for me is just like, you know, guys, like we need to understand these guys are humans, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. He's only human. But that's all. But like, I want to point that section out, man.
Even on that though, like I'm glad you pointed that out too, because let's also be logical about this and let's be realistic when we look back at this. This is actually one of the better signings that we've given Arsenal. Like, there wasn't this much backlash on.
I would argue it's the best signing we've given Arsenal, by the way.
Yes,
there was nowhere near this much backlash on Kai Havertz.
They kind of got one good season out, check. So
Jorginho was on his way out the door.
No, the reason I say that is
we got the best out of Jorginho. He didn't
Jorginho that much.
I also do think that part of the reason I say that is just because of like when they went in their careers, like Jorginho, David Luiz, Czech, even though they might have got good performances here and there or a good half season or season, they were fully on the decline.
No, I agree with that comment. Yeah,
they were fully on the decline. The only other person I think could be, just because again when we sold him and maybe on ability slightly better, is Havertz, but that depends. But like as it like. I'm glad he's gone in a sense of what I said earlier, but also like he didn't really have a future here. The price is great. Like it's one of the few things that these sporting directors managed to do well, which I'm not surprised with. Like you've got guys who came from elite selling clubs being elite at selling. It's not really a shock, to be honest. But the price we got from him is fantastic. I'd love to know what the full breakdown is, like how much we're actually getting up front, because all we know is
48 plus 4.
Is it where did that get reported by?
That I think got reported by, if I'm not mistaken, I think like the Times or something.
Like today, yeah. I saw it.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it in a minute.
Yeah.
But like if it is 48 million plus, what would that be? 4 million add-ons. That's cool. That's really nice.
That's essentially what we pay for, by the way. That's essentially what we pay for TK. Sorry, my wrong player. My apologies.
Yeah. So like, it's a good move. It's smart in terms of like he was here for 2.5 years. There was some level of improvement, but not enough for you to say that he deserves to stay here longer. And yeah, you can improve on him as much as I did like him, and thought he got unfairly treated. You can improve on him very easily, like we talked about Rodgers. Eze, if we looked at him, Xavi Simons I think is better, even though I don't think we'll get him. Whoever else, Kudus I know we were linked with, obviously didn't get. But yeah, so like it's one of those things. It just like it came to its natural conclusion. I think we wanted out. I think he got to the point of like you saw. I think the writing was on the wall for him. We'd signed Pedro, Gittins, Estevao was obviously coming in. we were still looking at other wingers like Kudus and whatnot. So I think the writing was on the wall, and I think it was just the correct move for all parties.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of Ahmed saying a lot but not saying anything. Look, there's like a couple things we got to talk about. Nani, I don't feel that he is a good enough player or a personally divisive enough character to warrant the kind of extreme reaction I've seen to him going to Arsenal. Part of this, I think, is just discourse driven on an app with a bunch of kids who don't go outside. So they are very hyperbolic and just over the top with their statements in either direction. But, I could be wrong. I don't know. But from the Nani perspective, I get leaving Chelsea because you see the writing on the wall. Mm-hmm. The one critique I'm going to have, mind you, I don't live in the UK. It might just be a family lifestyle thing. The one critique I have is I am shocked that he did not take the Newcastle move, because while the writing is on the wall at Chelsea, there's certainly no guarantee, especially if an Eze shows up at an Arsenal, that you're going to be starting on either flank there. But that's his problem.
But the thing is, Newcastle never given
London.
I was going to say there's two things for that. Number one is Newcastle never put a bid in. There was interest, but they never put a bid in. The second thing is, even if he's the backup to Saka, he still gets more minutes than he would get here. Because I
I get this part. I just think for development, right?
He's going to be third choice.
You don't really want to be in a backup role. I think that's an interesting point in his career to take that. But again, that's not our problem as fans. So like, I can kind of wash my hands and be done with it. I'm just not of the opinion that Nani's divisive enough, or like, I don't want to say good enough because it sounds harsh, but like the production hasn't been there to warrant this extreme outrage on both sides. So you know what? Good luck to him. Whatever. We will hopefully get better instead of Nani, and he will do better at his new place, just not against us. I don't really care.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, I know Newcastle went for Alenga eventually, but like there were links for Newcastle for Madueke like throughout last season.
There were, but I think this kind of died, and I think about January, Alenga was always their first choice. Like they've been chasing him, I think, since January, since the start of this window. Like I think the Madueke thing. I actually, have we heard anything about the Madueke thing since last summer in terms of to Newcastle?
I feel like I heard stuff in December, January, but then I certainly saw like Alenga. I don't know. If Nani really wanted to go there, I'm of the belief that like he could have been there, but like maybe that's oversimplifying. I don't know. But again, that's his career. That's his choice. It's got nothing to do with me. He doesn't owe me an explanation, certainly. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Good, not like good riddance, because that sounds harsh, but like good luck to you. Just never against us.
Exactly.
And Arsenal will figure that out if they want, man. Who cares?
Yeah, and I didn't find anything in terms of the price breakdown, but this is the confirmation. It's done. He's getting his medical done and all that. So, yeah, I agree. Like, I wish him the best, but not against us. Again, everything Pete says is pretty much spot on. There's a good player in there. We gave him 3 seasons, right? And we just haven't seen significant amount of
You don't get
progress.
more than 2 to find your feet at a club like Chelsea, man.
Exactly. He's had ample amount of chances. Like, it's not like we didn't try to get the best out of the player. Now, if he goes to Arsenal and ends up, being unlocked, which I doubt, then good for him. Obviously, at the end of the day, we move on. We get other players and try to get the best out of those players. But for the price too, I meant to ask you guys, I think it's a fair price considering, one, I don't think the player is shit at all. I think the player is actually a pretty decent player. And considering, I genuinely feel, I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this, I think he's a better player than Alenga. And if Alenga's going for that price, I don't see why we can't go for the same price.
I slightly disagree, but I don't think the difference is crazy.
I would say he's probably about on the same level. Like they offer different things.
He's
as
got more
footballers.
GNA than Elanga, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but Elanga's never been a GNA guy.
That's true.
I think
He's got more GNA than Elanga, and he's a better dribbler than Elanga.
I don't think that.
I don't
know about that.
Oh no, he definitely doesn't have more GNA than like a buddy.
No,
like
brother.
had 11 assists and 6 goals in the Premier League. Man,
How many goals?
Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think either of those statements are true.
brother,
I'm not gonna lie. Like
you could
I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way.
Equal to his assists.
I think Nani at his like top potential would bring more things to the pitch than Elanga would. But I think Elanga's game's a bit simpler and it's a bit more defined. And I think Elanga's game will translate to like top level UCL football better because he's just a little bit more direct and he's a little bit more simple. Like you don't need to be able to skin 12 guys and then do the greatest cutback cross you've ever seen. Like sometimes it's as simple as creating a half a yard of space and just whipping a ball into a good area. Like, I don't know, man. I wouldn't say not, but I don't think the difference between them right now is crazy.
The thing about Elanga,
either one being better.
I think the thing about Elanga, and this is the way I'm gonna put it essentially, is that he's a lot more faster, in my personal opinion, than Madueke, and he's a much better shooter than Madueke. That's what it is too. Like he can really just cut aside and shoot the ball. It's much better than Madueke because he's not. His thing is not as infrequent as
Nani has more goals than him in the Prem, not more assists. So I misspoke.
But the whole point, I think the whole point of him is that he's a counter-attack player, right? So Newcastle is going to be interesting to see how Newcastle will, because I think again Newcastle don't get. I don't want to say they don't get respected as much as like maybe other teams because they have been starting to get that respect now, but it's now about now that you've got base. Now you're going to be getting a lot more respect. You're essentially seen as a somewhat top 4 team now. You've been in the Champions League top. You're going to be getting Champions League for the second time in 3 years. Teams are going to start playing low blocks against you. Is Elanga going to be the answer for you? Maybe on the counter, but I'm not sure when these guys are digging in deep. Elanga's going to be the answer.
I don't think Newcastle face low blocks as much as like an Arsenal do at all.
No, but that's the point because I think they are going to start facing that though. Now I do think
I don't.
Do you not think that teams are going to start respecting them more? Because I feel like the whole reason.
What do you mean start respecting them more? They've been in the top 7 each of the last 3 years. Do you think there would be a difference in respect in the upcoming season than they just had?
I think so, yes, because now it's going to be back to back. Well, not back to back, but essentially twice in 3 years that they've been in Champions League football.
So do you think teams are going to approach playing them differently because of they are in Champions League?
No, because they've been essentially in the top 5 now, but like quite consistently.
Yeah, but like Newcastle play more transitional football because they don't hold as high a line as like an Arsenal do. Like the type of football Newcastle chooses to play is what presents space in more matches, I would say, than Arsenal are dealing with. Arsenal are pushing right up to the halfway line. They're pinning teams into their own half, and the other teams are just trying to survive for 90 minutes. That happens, sure, when Newcastle are probably playing like the bottom 5, but I don't think that's happening in situations where they're like dealing with, say, like Newcastle plays Arsenal. We know which of those teams is going to be camped in its own box, and it's not going to be Arsenal. You know what I mean? But whatever.
I just think he's a Madueke is just a slightly upgraded Callum Hudson-Odoi post-injury at Chelsea.
I think that's very insulting to Nani Madueke. Callum
Hudson-Odoi. I think that's insulting. I think that might be insulting to.
That's literally not 2 years ago. Hudson-Odoi.
He's saying after Cho's.
Yeah, I don't think that's just.
Yes,
I think that's being.
Cho can't even scratch Nani Madueke's back in terms of GNA in the Premier League.
Actually,
since that injury.
Can I tell you? Wait! Stop!
I don't think that's true either.
Hudson-Odoi had 8 goals and 2 assists. Hudson-Odoi had 8 goals and 2 assists 2 years ago, which is 1 less than Nani Madueke. So if you think he can't scratch what Nani did,
I don't think that's true, Marshall.
Yeah.
What are you doing, brother?
The problem is, I think for me, Cho was better than Madueke.
I'm not having this fucking.
Cho, in my personal opinion, is better than Madueke.
This isn't gaslighting.
No, it's gaslighting because I already did this research. I already had this debate with someone else. I know you're wrong. Hold on.
I'm
Go
right.
ahead.
2
Say
years
what you're
ago,
gonna
he had
say.
8 goals in
I'm gonna look it
29
up. I'm gonna look it up, and I'm gonna
transfer
show
market
in
right
front
now.
of everyone on stream, and then we're gonna laugh about it, and then you're gonna see I'm right.
Okay,
Go
but
ahead.
Pull up the
Ahmed.
player
He didn't
comparison
have
of the
8 goals
Premier
in
League.
I'm
That's
gonna
fine.
do it. I'm gonna do it. Go ahead,
Okay,
Ahmed. Go and say what you're gonna say.
24-25.
Wait,
24-25. Let's pull
Yeah.
up Hudson-Odoi and Callum and Donny Madueke. Let's do it. Why
Yeah,
not?
but even before that, I'm saying 2 years ago was 8 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League in 29 games. Do it.
That's
Check it.
exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying, or yeah, sure, 23-24.
Yeah, it is 23-24. It's literally 23. I told, brother.
Let's do it. Yeah, like
Share the screen,
Marshall,
share the screen with the class. Share the screen with the
Cho
class.
and
I'm
Elanga
working
had
on it.
underrated output seasons. Like for sure.
Okay.
How do you
But,
get to the player
Ahmed, what were you
comparison
gonna
in the
say?
new-
No,
in the
I
new
was just
Premier
gonna
League
say, I just think for me, Cho was a much better dribbler than Madueke. There's no denying that. You could get past his man of ease, even when he was in that state. By the way, his issue was his shooting was just terrible when he was with us, bro. Like he would just shoot through at the goalkeeper, right? He used to create a lot of chances for the team, ironically. So I think for me, Cho is better than Madueke. Cho was better than Madueke. I don't care what
Oh
anyone
my
says.
god.
Post
This is-
injury, I don't know,
Sure.
but I'm saying post injury, not pre injury. Like pre him, that was
Yeah.
Post injury,
That's
even
why you
post
saying
injury.
post injury Cho is better than Madueke. I think is absolute slander. On
That's
him.
not.
That's not what he
true.
said. That's not
I
what he said.
literally didn't say that, but okay. I
That's
literally
what I
said
heard
it
you
on
say.
Thank you, Peter.
That's
Peter,
not
tell
what he
me
said,
what I
though.
said, Peter.
No. He said Madueke is a slightly more souped up version of Cho post.
Thank you. That's literally what I said.
Yeah,
then I
that's what he
misunderstood
said.
you.
He didn't say Cho post injury was better.
Slightly better version
Okay.
of Hudson-Odoi
Hold
post
on. Sorry, it took me a little
Yes.
bit. I got it right here now. Hold on. Let me read.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that statement. It seems insane, but like, I don't super disagree with that. Mainly because I don't think Madueke's output actually matches his talent at all.
I agree.
So this is Callum Hudson-Odoi last season or this current season,
And we
right?
just said 2 years ago, where me and Peter talking about the same season.
Okay.
Ask Peter.
So let's go season for season then, right? We'll talk about
Okay.
this season,
Sure.
right? This is Cho.
Yeah, he
This is
had 8.
Madueke.
Yes, 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And as much as people want to discredit, oh, he's carried by this, and the fact that he did it, you got to count it.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not
against
saying
Wolves.
anything.
No, I know. I'm just saying people are going to say that, right?
So he's what,
let's
three
go.
ahead?
3 ahead, yeah.
So 7-4 this season for Madueke in the Prem,
Yeah.
And it was
and Cho
5
is 5-3.
Yeah, so he's 3 ahead.
3 more.
Okay, so let's go to the season
With
prior.
output for
Season prior, 8-2 in the Prem.
That's
I'm
exactly
gonna
what I
go to Cho. 8-2, 5-3.
So he's 1 ahead across 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the
Oh,
stat
I'm
that
so
I looked
right,
up.
bro. I'm so fucking right.
It's not that different.
That's bad,
It's not that
man.
different.
It's not that
It feels
different.
like it should be way different.
So the stat that I looked up is in terms of for Chelsea.
Yeah, but this
Nani's
season all
scored.
comps.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
all, I'm talking about Premier League.
We gotta be-
we were-
Nottingham Forest to play in the Conference League, and
I'm glad you
all
said
these
in all
other
comps
teams.
because Callum Hudson-Odoi in his time at Chelsea, we were in all competitions, right? We were in Champions League.
Yes, and
Nani
post
only got to
surgery
play in
is him and
Champions League
Nottingham
This
Forest.
one
is how you-
season.
I do.
This
I
is
do.
how you do this debate.
Bro,
This
what
is
are you
it.
doing?
Nah.
The
Marshall's
issue with-
nuking the
Wait,
parameters for the
you.
debate.
He's literally
This
just
is crazy.
The issue with
This
this
is
debate and why I
super
think it's
nasty.
right. This is
Mhm.
I'll be honest,
nasty.
What
work.
Marshall's doing right now is super nasty, chat.
By the way,
and this is his
by the way.
platform, so he can do whatever he wants. But this is supreme
No,
nasty work.
but I'm
right
just
now.
not having this whole idea that
Peter, I wasn't.
No,
watching-
no, no, no,
I know,
no, no.
I
Marshall,
understand, I
Marshall,
I
I'm
misunderstood.
cutting you off. Marshall, I'm cutting you off immediately. I'm calling ISO. No, we're doing this right now. We're comparing Cho from the last 2 seasons to Madueke from their time in England.
Yes.
We are not rewinding to COVID era Cho and
Yeah.
comparing him to Madueke now. We are
That's
not
what the-
doing that.
Marshall, can I
We're
ask you a
comparing
question?
their
How did
time
you
in
Listen,
England, and
listen,
they've all been in the same league.
Scott,
playing against each
him
other.
having one more GA than Hudson-Odoi is literally what I have stated, which is he's a slightly better version of Callum Hudson-Odoi. It proves
See,
it.
but that's the thing. That is not true. I don't agree with that at all.
Okay,
So you
well,
saying
like,
that statement, I don't agree with.
I
But
don't
here,
know.
let
Brother,
me
that's literally
let me tell you why. Let
I'm
me tell
siding with
you
CP,
why.
man. I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
lie.
gonna I'm not gonna do this whole
Peter,
thing where like I'm gonna tell you and you're gonna tell me why I'm wrong. No, let me tell you why I think you're wrong instead of you telling me why you think I'm wrong, right? So let me tell you my counter argument, because that's how debates work, right? You give an argument and I give a counter argument. The reason why I think Callum Hudson-Odoi can't even scratch Nani's back in terms of his time at Chelsea, right? This is Callum Hudson-Odoi's stats, right?
Nasty.
16 goals, 22 assists in this many minutes played. 6,449. Nani Madueke. Less games played, less minutes, 20 goals, 9 assists. So you tell me, who is better for Chelsea?
Do you know how many starts Callum Hudson-Odoi had at Chelsea compared to
I don't care about starts. Look at the minutes.
By the way, Marshall, I don't know if I've done the maths. Marshall, by the way. Hold on. I don't know if I've done the maths on this correct. So go back to Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Sure.
This debate is stupid. I'm just going to put that. This debate is stupid, by the way, because it lacks all context of the fact that Hudson-Odoi played in a team where, like, especially the last couple of years, he was basically right wing back. He was basically a wing back. But anyway, let's entertain this stupid thing.
Real quick before you go, Scott. Big up RSM. Thank you for the raid. Much appreciated.
Yeah, RSM, join the stream. This is a...
Yeah, RSM, join it. By the way, sorry.
This is super nasty.
So in 6,449 minutes in all comps for Chelsea, he got 38. If I've done 38 goals and assists, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay, yeah.
What we see
how many
here?
games? I'm sorry. Yeah,
in
we see here.
6,449 minutes. Madueke got 29 in 4,886 minutes. I've just done some very quick maths. I said, if my maths are off, someone correct me, but I just did some maths. So what I did, just to extrapolate out, like, what if Madueke reached this minutes, what he would get. I worked it out as, so in those minutes in 4,886 minutes, that's a goal or an assist every 168 minutes. If you were to then work out the difference, so I then worked out, I then worked out the difference between Madueke and Cho's minutes, which is 1,563. If you then divide 1,563 by 168 to get kind of what he'd then get if he was getting a goal or assist every 168 minutes to add to that, would you like to know how many extra he would have?
Who? Nani over Cho
Nani.
or Cho over Nani?
No, Nani.
Okay,
so then match the number of minutes. 9, which will put him on 38. The exact same.
All right.
Hey, man. Look, we're not even gonna.
Yeah.
We're not
Thank
even
you,
gonna,
Jacob. Bring up Jacob's
we're not even gonna do this. I just want you guys to know.
That's the
Marshall rewinded to a season where Cho was 20 to start, like the period when he was 20 post Achilles, trying to get this off. Instead of using the seasons that they were all playing in English football together against each other. Super nasty. You see what happened here. You see what happened. This is how
went back under right? System.
To be clear, to be abundantly clear, if we're not looking at stat sheets, I agree with the general premise that Nani Madueke is a better player than Callum Hudson-Odoi. But what I've always said is Nani's talent does not hold up when you look at output at all. So if you want to have an output-based discussion with Nani, with players you perceive as inferior, you might lose. You might get sucker punched by some random guys like Jacob Murphy. It just happens, right? Like nobody, like, for example, to make this and again, I'm not actually saying this is true, but I'm just making the point, right? Let's look up Alex Iwobi's GA in his last 2 seasons at Fulham. Let's do this.
Actually, Jacob Murphy might be a big example. Actually, I think Jacob Murphy's a big example.
No, let's do Iwobi, because Iwobi was like a wonder kid, and then he became a meme, and now he's just a solid player in the league.
Last 2 seasons.
If this piece of shit website wants to load, I'll have a look.
Okay, I got it. So this season he had 9 goals and 6 assists.
Oh my god.
Okay, and then last season he had 5 goals and 2 assists.
Yes. Okay, so we're dealing with 22 GA over 2 seasons, right? 23?
Yep.
No, 22 over 2 seasons.
And that's the just to put that into perspective as well. And this is where I think this whole argument about the Callum Hudson-Odoi thing lacks context. If we're doing this with Iwobi, this is an Iwobi who played left wing, right wing, and centre mid for a large portion of his time for a decent amount of time at Fulham has played central midfield.
So pay attention. Anybody who wants to defend Nani Madueke, stay away from stat sheets because you're going to get snuffed by some random guys that you would never say are anywhere close to him ability-wise. It is what it is. But yeah, man, it's just yes, the sentiment that Madueke is like a more refined version of Cho post Achilles, I don't disagree with that.
I didn't even think that was a wild statement.
But that sounds insane.
Yeah. To me, I think my issue with Cho, and I think the issue a lot of people had with Cho, was the goal scoring output, which Nani gave, but didn't have the creative output that Cho had.
I don't think Nani has goal scoring output.
If you look at the stats, right?
Because I'll be honest, Marshall. The issue people had with his output when it came to Cho, it was stupid because it was the fact he was never going to get output in the team. Like, he was never an output heavy guy anyway.
He wasn't in those positions even.
Yeah, he wasn't in those positions anyway. Like, it was people wanting to not rating him and just wanting to find a legitimate a reason that it wasn't
a reason to not like him.
Yeah, it was more a case of they couldn't just say, "Oh, fuck him," just randomly for no reason without looking like a dickhead. So they had to find a reason that it made sense to hate him. It was like, "Oh, he gets no GA." Cool. We don't see plenty of guys who are good get no GA. I found this out the other day. You know, Ronaldinho in his Ballon d'Or season had 8 goals.
Yeah, he wasn't much of a GA.
8 goals, bro.
Yeah.
And again, guys, we're not relitigating whether Cho was good here or not.
Yeah.
The point is, if you're gonna have a stats-based discussion on Madueke, watch the fuck out, dude. Because some nasty guys.
Yeah, I learned the hard way. Yeah.
I'm just gonna talk about Madueke because I didn't speak about him leaving the club. So I don't really care about stats. I just talked about people being abusive to him.
Yeah. Fair enough. Smash the like button, by the way, people. Thanks for the radar, Sam.
I just want to say, man, big up to Madueke. Hope you fuck up at Arsenal because obviously they're a rival. But other than that, listen, wish him nothing but the best. Obviously, it didn't work out at Chelsea. Is what it is, man. And for me, and I will say this right now, when you get offered 52 million for a player like him, you just can't say no to that, bro. Realistically, you just cannot say no to that.
Nope.
You can't say no to that, man.
Especially considering how frustrating it was.
I'm genuinely shocked that we've managed to get 52 million for him, bro.
I know. I saw.
You know what? I'm part of it. I'm part of it for me.
Going out with
I'm part of it for me. What we should be thankful for is that some of these guys that are maybe slightly better than him are going 55 M's. Because this guy realistically should be going for 40 million.
I'll be real, Ahmed, I'm not shocked about the price. If you look at other guys that have gone
I know. I agree with that, but I'm just saying if we were in a bit more of a market where the values are true to what the players' values will really were.
No, but that's I get it, but that's what happens when you buy a England international, a full England international, who came off a decent season. People can say,
man. These English tax is real, man. English tax is real. I can't believe already got English tax, man.
He came off a decent season, not great, obviously. It wasn't shit though. People wanted to make it out to be. Whether people want to accept it or not, was our best winger last season. I don't count the Club World Cup as last season. Honestly, all our wingers sucked. So it's not really saying much. But yeah, I'm not surprised. Anthony Gordon went to Newcastle for 50 million after doing the square root of nothing for Everton outside maybe one season. I think he had one season where he was decent. Remember, he had a season where he was shit because he got cussed out by Everton fans for months. So he moved for 50 million.
That brother was down in tools, man. We wanted that.
100%. But what I'm saying is he sucked before he moved and got a £50 million move. So I'm not really surprised that we got 52.
It kind of just seems like the going rate for wingers within
in a poor
the
winger
league.
market, especially.
Yeah, anywhere from 45 to 55 mil.
If you're not putting 40 mil on the table, you're not even having a conversation with a guy who's a first team contributor at a decent Premier League club. You saw, granted, bit of a poor example, but Southampton were quoting 100 mil for Tyler Dibbling in March. Wake up.
Well, I was going to say, Peter, Adingra just went for 25 million, having basically played no football last year.
Yeah, Adingra is a rotation wide player. And it's 20. Yeah, you're not even having conversations for starters unless you really are north of 40.
Yeah. Well, if we're done with Nani, we can talk about his potential replacement. I don't know if anyone has any more closing statements on Nani. We kind of did just talk about this.
You know, the club. I do think the club flopped on not selling like bandanas with him. I thought that would have been a very good.
No, bro, no, dude. No, don't you know? Wait, Prime.
No, I'm laughing because that's actually not a bad idea. And the fact that I agree with that. It's not a bad idea. What are you talking about, bro?
No, because Prime sponsored.
I'm really surprised that, bro.
No, but
it's a terrible idea, and I'll get to why later.
No,
yeah, I think that's a terrible idea as well. And I'll say why right now. Have you seen like 90% of the people that go to Stamford Bridge and would be the ones who wanted to buy those?
No, but
that's a global market
for Arsenal. That's why it makes sense for
Bro,
Arsenal.
you get somebody caught doing any bad thing in a Nani bandana, and the rep is stuck forever. It's not worth the
That's
risk.
like the MAGA hat.
Yes, bro.
He's part of Mandem FC.
If somebody runs around.
Like,
you know how they have all those phone snatchers in central London? Let somebody get caught on camera snatching phones with a Nani bandana.
That's actually kind of true.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's not a bandana though, because his thing is just like this. It's literally just like a headband.
Okay, but Ahmed, whatever that shit is, let one single person be on film doing any sort of remotely bad shit with that you can trace that back to Nani Madueke specifically, and rep is good.
No, but Ahmed,
I can see that.
Wait, but I think Arsenal are gonna do it because once again, Prime sponsors Arsenal. Who's part owner of Prime? KSI. Mr. Bandana Man himself. The collab is gonna happen. The Nani and KSI collab, bandana collab is gonna happen. I'm telling you right now.
All right.
Look,
well,
man, it is what it is.
Let's actually.
Ahmed Defo does
Let's
X
move on
stuff
to the
with
next
his bandana.
topic.
I don't do that sort of thing.
Yo,
You know, HA man.
I'm not gonna
get your man to go.
I don't know why you're thinking about another man doing things. That's kind of
that's
a crazy comment. That's a crazy thought to have. But the fact that you felt safe enough to type that in chat is insane. To be clear, all of you watching, and thank you for watching, you should hit the like button. If you're not subscribed and you like these conversations, you should subscribe. You should support. But what I don't want you guys to think is it's a safe enough space to say shit like that. Okay? We draw the line right before we get shit like that in the chat. Okay? That's weird. And you're weird for typing that. I'm ashamed that you felt safe enough to say that. The space is not that safe. All right?
One more for the band.
Bro, are you good, bro?
Yeah, straw.
what are you getting?
Let's go to Malick Fofana. So Nottingham Forest have agreed to deal with Leon for Malick Fofana, but there is no agreement yet on the player's side. The player is waiting for Champions League clubs. Chelsea's still keen on the player. Leon won at least £51.1 million from Malick Fofana. Clubs interested: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Fulham, Nottingham Forest.
Bro, that's
Bayern,
a quarter of the league.
Leipzig. Yeah, it's a lot of players.
That's ridiculous.
Due to lots of interest, any deal is still some way off, with Leon hoping to drive the price up.
Wait, Leon want that? Nah, bro. Let them go down. 10 mil. Nah, 51 mil for this guy.
From what I've watched, he's pretty good. He's a pretty good player.
That's fine. He's linked to a quarter of the league. No. I'm good.
Yeah.
51 million.
That 51 million that was quoted.
Guaranteed starter. I'm good, thank you.
I think he's starting over
good, bro.
But then what do we do with Gittins?
Sorry, no, Marshall, hold on. Let's rewind. You think he's starting over Gittins? Are you good?
He may start over Gittins. I think he's better than Gittins too.
Marshall, put your hand on your heart right now and tell me you've watched a single Malick Fofana league only.
I have.
Have you?
I have. Yeah.
Okay, preface this, when they're not playing Strasbourg.
Okay, never mind. No, that
Listen,
I've seen him play United, but it's not Ligue 1, so
Peter, that was amazing. I love that. I love it.
I know your game. I know your game. Because like you, Marshall, I am also a criminal. You cannot fool a criminal.
That was amazing.
I like the player, though. I like the player.
I will tell you this for free. He is better than Gittins. I will tell you this.
This guy tried to look at me.
That's not. No.
50 mil, yep. Nah, bro.
Ahmed, that's not the argument here. That's not the argument I made. You know my argument when it comes to Maresca and some of these players. Getting to be our starting winger next season. I'm willing to bet money on that.
Man City Academy, brother.
Yeah. No amount of Malick Fofana sauce can overcome the Joe Shields pipeline to the first team, brother.
Facts.
You're not. Mariska out, man. There we go. That's it, man. Beyond that, if a player of this quality can't get into the team because Man City Academy, then fuck Mariska.
Player of this quality. What quality? He's in the Liga Uber Eats League.
Oh yeah, and what? That's one of the best leagues to be in when it comes to translation into the EPL.
That's great, man. We just bought a winger for 55 mil from Bundesliga. That's a Man City Academy graduate. He's not sitting bench mate.
Mariska out, man. That's it.
Okay, we somehow devolved into manager out on the eve of the Club World Cup final because Malick Fofana hypothetically
because an 18-year-old French kid isn't joining the club.
Yes, exactly, man. That's it, man. My feelings are
manager out over a teenager.
That's it, man. That's the hey yo, chill out, man.
Let's talk about it. Now we're gonna have a different conversation. Chat, remember when I got on random commenter for this not being a safe space? Ahmed, your time is now. Why do you have such? Why are you evoking such strong emotions over a teenager?
This is insane. This is insane. I just respect the quality of the player.
How has a teenager changed your mind on another grown man?
This is insane. This is crazy. This is crazy.
This Gegenpress is amazing. This
is nasty.
Ahmed is giving me drink vibes. Yeah,
see, this is why
gives me Diddy vibes. How about that?
This is why I can't be here all the time, man. We've been going for almost 3 hours. It's been too serious for too long. I had to listen to you guys talk about Jackson. Nah, man. Let's get to the real shit. Ahmed, be honest. If Malick Fofana walked down the street, walked right past you, would you know it was him?
Yes. I'm very good with memory. My memory is really good. Yes.
I'm gonna recognize teenagers on the street. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Not sure.
Press is on. I
was gonna say, listen, I've got a big example here. If Tariq George walks past any of you guys in the street, would you guys recognize him?
Yeah,
only because he looks like Saka. Yeah, only because he looks like Saka.
Dude, you recognize another teenager too. So, you know what I mean? We can play this game.
Saka's not a teenager. Saka's not a teenager.
Tariq George is.
But I'm thinking he's Saka.
Ahmed's defense was not I'm a good person. It's you guys might be bad people too. Just to be clear. That was Ahmed's defense. Okay, so if that makes you feel better, that's fine. But that doesn't address.
I'm just trying to say we all bad people, man. I'm just trying to say we all bad people. How about that?
That's Ahmed's like, oh, you're a piece of shit too. That's fine. We can do it all day. I don't mind.
Listen, I'm just saying I respect a player's quality. You know what I mean? That's all it is, man. Listen, you know, that's an FM scout.
Yeah, respect him in a legal way.
Wait. You're choosing a teenager over our club because you're choosing him over our manager.
No, because our manager. Listen, I'm just saying our manager is choosing a player that I believe is not better than the player that I believe in. So that's what it is.
This guy wants.
You're getting awfully worked up over a teenager, bro. Is everything okay?
Nothing to get worked up about.
Yeah, you good, bro? Do you feel this way about Estaval, or is it just certain teenagers?
Listen, you know, that's your opinion. I don't get worked up about teenagers.
That was a question.
Listen, I don't have any opinion on Estaval because I've not watched him.
Okay, you know? No opinion on Estaval, but he's going to war over Malick Fofana. All right, man. Estaval just almost packed us out of the tournament a week ago, but now we got Malick Fofana is where we draw the line.
No problem. I like Malick Fofana, but I can't defend you on that one.
No problem.
No, but I've only watched Estaval like once, and that was against us. That's it. And Piquet kept him pretty much quite far in the golf course.
So Ahmed, are you telling us you're an avid Liga watcher?
Yes.
He is actually.
The league famous for playing kids?
It's the best place to scout for good talent. So
I don't know, man.
It's the best place to scout for good young French talent. There you go.
That's cool. See how he smiled when he said young. I don't know.
Yeah, he did.
I don't know about him. You're going to have to delete the stream, by the way. There will be no VOD. So if you're not catching it live, it will not be there. This stream is coming down.
This
stream is coming down.
Listen, Chelsea
Chris
has made me
Hansen's gonna
into
fuck
a.
the stream.
Listen, Chelsea has made me into a scout, so that's what I do as a scout.
And it's specifically the young players, yeah.
Yes, because that's we have a maximum 18 to 25.
Bro said yes, by the way.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
Yes,
kind of what's
that's what,
though.
This guy's a criminal. He can't even hide it anymore.
listen, I'm just here to listen. You know, I'm just being honest. You know, honesty is the best policy. There we go.
I don't think it is in every case. I think that's bullshit.
I mean, for me, I find it is.
It's good for you, man. Big up.
Bro.
Let's talk about Maignan. We got 2 more.
All right.
Done.
Oh man,
He's
he's too old for Ahmed, so he doesn't care,
He's
man.
too old for me, man. He's too old for me.
Hey.
Man. Yeah, man.
What do you
He's
mean
better
by
than me,
that?
Man, get Grandad out of here, man. Get Grandad out of here, man.
AC Milan manager Allegri confirms Mike Maignan and Chelsea deal not completely off. I don't think it's up to you, Allegri, but we'll continue on. We'll entertain this. I'm very happy to decide to stay. I'm very happy he decided to stay. Mike remains the captain and is one of the best goalkeepers in Europe. Mike Maignan is staying in AC Milan this summer. Talks with Chelsea broke down after the 50 million euro bid was rejected and were never revisited.
50 million euros, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Listen. This
Bro,
is
do you
the
know
one.
what? Oh, wait, Marshall. You know, I just realized. I've just remembered. You know, that's the same price we paid for Amugu, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
It is.
Actually, that's
by the way, you're worth as much as Amugu.
It's not serious. That don't value him as much as a Vigo is actually kind of crazy, bro. No way.
This is.
Hey, man. They
This
don't
is the one
value
I
him
do not
as much as an
agree with.
18-year-old. Mad.
It's like Ahmed.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this one, ladies and gents.
Can you
If
stop talking about
they
18-year-olds?
happen to get him on a free
Oh my God.
on January, then kudos. But I don't think it's gonna happen. That's the only
I
way
think
out they
maybe
can get out of
if
this.
if AC Man is serious about Jackson, I think they may do like a player plus.
But I thought about that, Ahmed. But then I thought to myself, like, but why would they want to do that if they can get him on a free in January?
No,
wanna do
but the thing
If
is,
they can actually manage to pull that off.
the thing is, bro, like, I would make the argument, why wait a season? You know what I mean? There's no point of waiting like for like a whole season to get for free. You know what I mean? Where
I mean, there is, but it really depends on how the playing and coaching staff feel about the goalkeeper, the goalkeepers we have now, compared to what they view bringing in Maignan a season early in this hypothetical would be, right? Like, is it worth it?
So like, the thing is, they've tried to like actually get Jorgensen out by the transfer route, which is not
And he
worked. So
said
we
no.
know. Listen, no.
Yeah, but
we
we're
know.
not-
So then I'm
That's
talking
fine.
about. I'm going through the goalkeeper, sorry, and then with Sanchez, we know that they essentially.
Robert
already
Sanchez
to-
is final boss, by the way. He's goalkeeper.
No,
final
no.
boss.
I do think the club wants to move on from Sanchez.
Okay, bro. Okay.
I don't
believe it
what
when I
makes you
see
think
it.
that?
Listen. I do think they want to move on from him. But the problem is, I think, they think that solution is Mike Penders, in my personal opinion.
Okay, so that means Sanchez till 2030, basically.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say, basically. So essentially, for them,
So can you say they want to move on from him if the solution is a teenager? Can we actually say that?
I mean, we can technically say that.
I'm
but I
bringing
feel
up
like,
teenagers again, by the way.
listen,
but,
they can say that. But I think the way the question I think you've got to ask yourself is, how far do they see Penders' development? That's what you have to ask yourself as well.
I think I don't know why we were even considering Penders, because like as strong as the men,
He's just
guys,
really highly
as strong as the Man City pipeline to the first team via Bald Guy exists, there's also the Brighton pipeline to goalkeeper. Sanchez, Ben Roberts, they're the mafia at this football club. They simply cannot be defeated. They just can't be defeated. I don't think Penders stands a
Let's feel
chance.
that way.
The thought I have in the back of my mind with this whole Penders thing is, until he's actually playing for us, I'm
Yeah,
still
I don't know if he's good either.
not even about good. He could be good. I'm not even certain like he ever plays for us. Like they might reach a point. Yeah, they might reach a point. Like say he goes on loan to Strasbourg next season, he might come back and they've forgotten about him.
Bro, like, also, football changes quickly. Like, let's just say they want to sign Maignan on a free. if you're Mike Maignan, you're not coming to Chelsea to sit behind Mike fucking Penders. Like, if they do make a decision in the next 12 months, it's very possible Jorgensen, Penders, Industry Plant, Slanina, and whoever else, they're all off the books now. This is the thing. Hermansen could be an option. He was linked to the club last year, and then Sanchez pulled mob boss shit, and then that just disappeared.
The thing I would say as well is like, I do think that Peter made a good point there about this, like everything changes so quickly. Like, for kind of 2 points on this is, number one, from our perspective in terms of, just in terms of our perspective, things could happen. Like Penders could end up having a sensational season and get to the point where he's potentially ready to play for us. If that's the case, what's the fucking point of getting Maignan? If Penders is in a point of playing for us next season, like he might be the second coming of Courtois, he might not be, but if he is, what's the point of? You'd have to wait until what's it called, the end of the season to make that decision realistically. But by that point, another club may have come in, and that's the other point. I mentioned this backstage. Neuer's contract ends this season, the end of this season. There have been talks about Donnarumma potentially going elsewhere. Don't know how legitimate they are. We don't know. If he ever leaves, Maignan is going back to PSG. He's a former PSG academy player. There are other teams out there that may need goalkeepers.
Hey, 41-year-old Manuel Neuer, I'm in.
I'm out, mate.
I'm in.
So, like, there are other clubs potentially. If we wait 12 months, there is a potential of other clubs being in a position where they need keepers.
Pick up Rico, man.
I can't even tell you right now. I can't even tell you right now who that is a fucked comment, by the way. That's nuts.
What?
Exactly what Pete's talking about, bro. I'm not gonna put it up. It's exactly what Pete was saying before.
Bro, what the hell, man?
I can't even tell you the name of the Juventus keeper. They could be looking for a new keeper next year.
Oh yeah, who the fuck? I don't even know.
Fuck knows. No idea. This is what I'm saying.
They got the goal, right? We need like the Brazilian guy.
Guys, get your wild comments in now, because this VOD is getting taken down.
But yeah, so like, I get waiting a year to get him on a free, but the landscape of football could change so much. You could
there's no guarantee he comes in on a free.
Yeah, like you could get to a point where all of a sudden you're battling with like four teams for him.
We could be in a point where we're in like a contract war. We could be in a point where we actually like the goalkeepers we have and don't want to change next season.
It seems that way.
There's just things that could happen, and I don't think they would pay the money for a Maignan right now and make that decision for them. Just they bring him in right now, their decision is made.
Yeah, it just really seems that, based on what happened last season, for whatever reason, the PR machine for Sanchez is the only thing they seem to be reading, which is all
unbeatable, man.
Stats,
I gotta respect
the
it.
save percentage and all that shit. And even now, and we've admitted it, right? As a result of getting Delap, those long pass percentages that Sanchez was horrible at now seems to have been redeemed a little bit more, because you have a striker that can actually bring him down and control him. So now giving them more argument as to why we should keep Sanchez. And listen, after January,
I'm not so sure about that.
I'm just saying, well, what aren't you sure about?
The long ball thing, because the reality is the long ball is only happening now because, as it was before, he's too scared to make the passes that your average goalkeeper that you'd want in a Morosky system to make.
But Delap is saving Sanchez from looking worse than what he is what I'm trying to argue. Which is probably what the directors are seeing.
He's only not. I wouldn't say so, actually, because like Delap's not been getting that many of those shots.
He's getting a lot more than Jackson.
How much is one more? How much is one more going to change the game?
It's not one more. It's not one more.
It's pretty much one more, because he didn't get. If I'm not mistaken, I'm just thinking about the last game of the lab. He did not get. He probably got one.
I'm gonna look up the Tunis game real quick.
I'm looking now, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Did he play Benfica? I think he played Benfica.
Delap, Delap was there versus Benfica, yeah. Wait, was he there for Benfica? He was. I'm pretty sure.
He was.
Yeah, he played Benfica.
Yeah,
he's played every game, I think, outside of the one he was suspended for.
Exactly.
And what was Sanchez's long pass stats?
I'm getting all of them up. Give me a second.
Yeah, go for it. Because I've been paying attention to the Laps games, and he's been able to actually do something with Sanchez's long passes, which Jackson was never able to do, barring the lucky touch he would get every now and again, which again bolsters Sanchez, which is unfortunate for.
No, actually, to be fair, Ahmed might be right. Holy, this guy absolutely reeks, bro.
I told you, bro. It's not really that much that's changed.
Let me go and have a look at Jorgensen. Hang on a second. Let me go back to Jorgensen.
Oh boy.
Marshall, man, I told you, man.
Not that much better either. To be fair, Jorgensen's not that much better either. I mean,
I'm looking at his pass completion. His pass completion just like dwarfs Sanchez's by like so much.
Okay.
Get this one back up.
Okay.
Let me get him up. So yeah, over the last few games, he had 3 out of 8 successful against Palmeiras.
Okay.
He had 3 out of 7 successful against Benfica. He had 4 of 14 against Flamengo and 1 of 6 against LAFC.
1 of 6 against LAFC, where Jackson started, right?
Yeah, I think so. But his pass percentage, bro, is so shit. Like,
it's not
what's it called? The Palmeiras game 77, Benfica 83. That was actually decent. Like, it was okay. 71% against Flamengo, and it's 70% against LAFC. Jorgensen is 1 game got 96.
Yeah. Jorgensen, we know, is better at passing, but he's
just a better player. I'll be so honest. He's just a better keeper. He's just not. No, he's a better keeper.
He's a better passer, that's for sure. But
no, they're not too different in terms of shot stopping. I'll be honest.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
the thing is like massively blown out of proportion. The issue is Jorgensen is nowhere near enough of an upgrade for it to be worth playing him as well. Like he's better at passing. He's about the same on shot stopping, but it's not to the like he's nowhere near good enough at shot stopping for you to like have him in the team on a consistent basis.
It's an obvious choice, yeah. I mean, this will transition me over to someone who is actually better at shot stopping.
Oh, fantastic! We get to speak about this nonsense.
And also better at passing and better at everything is Petrovic. This is the here we go that happened.
Fantastic!
He's better at everything.
Yeah, he's better at everything, and this is fantastic news. I actually can't wait for him to play for Bournemouth. I will watch every Bournemouth game now. Bournemouth, yeah, anytime.
All right, let's get to the tweets. So Ben Jacobs here reporting 2 days ago. Bournemouth now in advanced talks with Chelsea over Georgi Petrovic. Chelsea are seeking a 30 million euros. Clubs are yet to agree on a fee. Petrovic is open to Bournemouth. Who was he linked to earlier? He was linked to Galatasaray.
He's been linked with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, and Sunderland.
Fenerbahce, yeah. A lot of clubs. So, Fabrizio reporting here exclusive. Bournemouth have submitted an opening official bid to Chelsea for Petrovic. Negotiations ongoing between clubs as players are keen on the move. Nothing was done or close with Sunderland last week. Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. As Bournemouth are now hopeful to get the deal done. After official bids sent Wednesday as revealed, Bournemouth are confident to get Petrovic's deal done. Understand Petrovic has already accepted to join Bournemouth. Final green light with Chelsea expected soon. Bournemouth are advanced in talks with Chelsea over signing goalkeeper Petrovic. A deal not yet agreed, but there is growing optimism one will be struck. And then Ornstein with the Bamba. Deal Bournemouth reached total agreement with Chelsea to sign Georgi Petrovic. Deal for 25-year-old goalkeeper worth 25 million pounds. Serbian international given permission to undergo medical next week and proceed with move to Bournemouth. And then here we go. 25 million pound. Chelsea accept all final conditions. Petrovic will undergo medical in the next days, as David Ornstein reports. Bournemouth have been favorite while Petrovic signs long-term deal. And listen, Bournemouth, you got Kepa, you got use out of him, you made it work. Now you got Petrovic, and I'm sure you're not going to sell him on because this guy might be your number one for a while, and probably keep you in European spots because this guy's just good. In my opinion, he's a lot better than Sanchez. Not better than Maignan, but definitely better than Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean,
third best keeper in Ligue 1 last season at a minimum. Like, I think he was arguably the best, but I hear the arguments for Chevalier and Donnarumma, especially. No, that he's going to go there, and I have no doubt in my mind he's going to smash it. He smashed it at every club he's been at. Even the last season, I know people wanted to run the stupid bullshit and look at the stats and this, that, and the other. Do you know who else had shit stats before they played in the Premier League? Was Matt Sells. Just got golden glove last season, by the way. Matt Sells.
I'm learning, Cal. I'm learning. All right.
Played in the Ligue 1, by the way. People I see
wow.
I see some people with room temperature IQ. I see some people with room temperature IQ in the chat talking about Ligue 1. Matt Sells, best goalkeeper in the league last season.
Marshall.
It is what it is.
Hey man, it's why she go to stadiums, Marshall.
I understand guys want to say, "Oh, I saw Petrovic here, and it didn't work." Right? We don't have the manager who was here when Petrovic was playing, so I think just as we gave blank slates to a bunch of the players, it's fair to give a blank slate to Petrovic, and it's very possible he could just be a better goalkeeper now than he was 18 months ago when he was in and out of.
Do me a favor, by the way, Marshall. Sorry to interrupt, Pete. Can you bring up Axe's most recent comment? No one was saying this, by the way, when he was statistically shit at Strasbourg when they were in relegation battles every year, and he sucked at Newcastle, by the way. At Newcastle.
Sells didn't really.
He sucked at Newcastle. Let's be completely honest. He sucked.
Sells didn't really have a great season until this season. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Yep.
Forest were
consensus. They were consensus bottom 5 pick last summer.
Yep.
And you can talk about translatable actions all you want, man. I just don't know how much football from 18 months ago under a different coach matters relative to what's gonna happen now or what's happened recently. I don't know. Doesn't really matter to me.
The thing is, a lot of
he'll be all right.
Go ahead, Pete. Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
I think Petrovic should be all right at Bournemouth. I don't think it's going to be no. Let me say this. I think their bigger issue is losing some of their key players, but I think they've upgraded in goal for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, especially from Kepa. I mean, Kepa had a good season at Bournemouth. I don't see why Petrovic won't be able to. Obviously, Huijsen's not there, but here's something that I feel like there's always context that's missing when you mention some of these stats in reference like Petrovic or whatever. I think a lot of people like to hold on to the final third, I'll say, of that Poch season where he started to make a few errors here and there, and they've never forgotten that. And the thing is, we were defensively the worst Chelsea have ever been under Poch.
Yes.
And when defensively you're just exposing your goalkeeper all the time, yeah, dude, at some point your goalkeeper is going to make mistakes. And at some point your goalkeeper is going to look bad because you're just exposing him constantly and you're going to create that risk. It's like insurance. The more you drive, the more liable you are on your insurance plan because you are constantly exposing yourself to the risk that you may get in an accident. So before you go, Scott, the thing is, remember the Champions League we won with Tuchel. Mendy was amazing, not just because he was making remarkable saves, but also because he didn't have to make that many remarkable saves. We were defensively really, 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 really sound. We weren't that under Poch. So yeah, we did put Petrovic in a really, really shitty situation at Chelsea, and he made the most of it. You put him at Strasbourg, defensively more sound. He ends up being a really, really good goalkeeper there, statistically improved on a bunch of stats that we needed him to improve on, and saves. At Bournemouth, we'll see what happens. He will be tested because I think they've gotten hit. Losing Huijsen was a big loss for them. We'll see who replaces him and if they step up, if they have anywhere near as good of a defensive team, or not defensive team, but defense than they did this past season. What were you going to say, Scott?
Is there a way to go? Does anyone know if there's a way to look at previous years on FB Ref, like their stats?
Yeah, you should be able to.
You can sort for Scott. Scott, I believe you can sort for league seasons. You can sort for the last 365 days. Yeah, I think you can. You should be able to.
It should show you the end.
I want to show you, like, Marshall, I need you to, like, visualize to people how dog shit the sales season under Strasbourg the year before he was bought was, like, in terms of statistically. It is, most of it is red. It's shit.
Oh, wow.
So people want to do this, like, oh, statistically he sucked. Cool. So did the best keeper in the league last year.
Yeah, that's also true.
And people want to point out small individual games, because I notice people, like, Axe keeps bringing up the Luton game. Cool. I can talk to you about those type of games for other players. Alisson's debut against Leicester, he literally gave a goal away.
Mm-hmm.
Literally was responsible for giving a goal away for trying to dribble out of his box.
There was even that season Alisson had where, like, Liverpool ended up in Europa. That season was horrible for Alisson.
Let's see if I can find this.
Listen, with Petrovic, he had a great season at Strasbourg, as you guys know. Quality, he had a great season. I would have kept him at Chelsea. I really do think he should have been a starting keeper for us.
I think he should have been given a fair chance, which he was never given, really.
See, I don't think.
I think that's the most frustrating thing for the fans.
My problem is just that he's clear of Sanchez. I don't really
massively clear.
He's just clear of Sanchez at this point. And like, he had a great season. And I think for me, the club should have seen that I'm pushed on from Strasbourg. I actually think he would have been the perfect goalkeeper. Right, if you still believe in Penders and think of him as your long-term goalkeeper, Petrovic is the perfect guy to be having that, because he's entering into his peak. Right, that's the type of guy that you want. You know what I mean? Listen, no, again, I'm just trying to follow their plan, bro. That's all it is, people.
Bro, there's no. But Ahmed, Penders hasn't been anointed as some knight in shining armor that's going to arrive in 2030 and take over the scene.
No, but that's what they believe in it. So I'm just trying to say.
Is that what they believe, Ahmed, or is Penders not in the same bracket as guys like Elliman and Amagu and Paez, like these random guys, man?
That's a good question. Good question. We'll see what happens. But regardless, I think Petrovic was still a good goalkeeper. We actually improved on the one very thing that Moscow wanted him to improve upon, and he became a better shot stopper, right, at Strasbourg too, right? So for me, it's just like, I don't understand why we decided just to move on from it. For me, it's just a case of because the club cannot move on from Sanchez, they can't find a willing buyer for him, that we are still stuck with this bold fraud. Genuinely, that's why we're stuck with Sanchez, because no one wants to buy him. It's as simple as that. And until,
I'm looking at. Sorry. Let's do some stats. Marshall, I'm gonna put something in the private chat.
And for me, until guys, this guy either runs down his contract, or these guys decide to get the finger out of the arse, then we're never just gonna have Sanchez in goal.
Okay, what am I? What the fuck, dude?
Is this going to be Marshall's longest stream on his channel?
No, I've done longer.
No, we've done longer.
Yeah, we've done longer.
Yeah. Big up Pete for staying the whole time, by the way.
I'm watching a baseball game, man. My girl came in like 2.5 hours ago, and I showed her that I was streaming, and she thinks I'm busy. This is awesome.
What are we looking up?
This is just Petrovic here from last season against all goalkeepers in Europe's top 5 leagues. He's in the top 5 percentage for that top stat, which is.
Let me get rid of this.
It is. I can't remember. It's post shot expected goals minus goals allowed. It basically like.
Big up Staffy.
More positive numbers.
You know what, Staffy? Go fuck yourself.
Like an above average ability. Top
Say it one more time, Scott.
It just shows like how their ability statistically wise, like to stop shots or goalkeepers. He's in the top 5 percentage. Top 5% of all goalkeepers, and this is in Europe's top 5 leagues.
Yeah.
And this isn't just like me saying about stats.
Stats.
This was backed up by people who watched him on a regular basis.
Yeah.
He, by the way, this is a player who got Strasbourg Player of the Season ahead of Santos.
Refresh my mind, because I was a few years in, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, it's again, I think the biggest issue.
Ooh, I was jealous. Ooh.
Friends that aren't Chelsea friends. Ooh, is that what you're thinking of? Is that what you're thinking?
Are you getting possessive over internet friends?
He is.
I'm trying to troll. I'm just trying to troll, bro. Come on, guys. Get out of fun. Why does no one let me have fun? What's going on, man?
Because stop being a fucking weirdo. What the fuck?
Sorry, man. Sorry, I'm trying to have another fun. Listen, I'm just trying to have fun.
We're being microwaved right now, yes.
Oh yeah, that's my microwave, guys. Eat shit. Fuck you guys. We're 3.5 hours in.
Yeah, we're getting cooked out here, bro. But in terms of like, I think the biggest frustration, and I think overall all of us can agree on this, with Petrovic is the fact that he just never got a fair shot under Maresca. Whether it be because of Maresca, whether it be because of the ownership having the intention to sell him the whole time, who knows?
Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, like the point on this is, regardless of whether you think Petrovic is like the answer long term, because that's a different conversation. The point is what Pete made earlier. We're going to go into next season more than likely with Robert Sanchez as our number one. Like
we'll be here. Actually, I have that clip. Axe.
Who will be there? Do you care though? Who will be there?
Man said abandon my point. Like, if he flops, well, I'll still be here. I was still here with Cole. When he was performing, I was here. When he wasn't performing, I said he wasn't performing. And I said I might have been wrong about him. And then he stepped up. So, are you going to be here if your point is wrong?
These guys are so desperate to be right, man.
Oh, of course they are, bro. Like, of course they are.
This is why I don't do
these dense motherfuckers. Like, they're like, bro, I'll bring it back, by the way. You know, by the way.
You abandoned him because you haven't put the fucking Petro picture as your fucking.
Oh no, I think I've still got it on my thing.
You Scott, people need a life. I'm sorry. You people need a life.
Petrovic
oh shit.
You people need a fucking life. My God. Jesus.
Some weird shit, right?
Guys, you know what?
Scott,
you know what?
Hashtag exposed.
New rule that I think we should all adopt. If you have a random anime profile pic, you're not a real human being to me.
Damn.
Sorry.
Damn.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, like I can't go back and forth about Petrovic with. Is this a One Piece ad? I don't even know.
I think it's One Piece. I don't really know.
I don't know balls. I'm gonna be honest.
It's One Piece.
And yes, I'm saying this behind half a meme because I'm eating salmon and fries, and I don't want you guys to see that shit.
Ooh, bam. Sounds good.
But yeah, as I was saying, like, that's jokes. As I was saying, the overall point is he's miles better than Sanchez in every single metric we want to use on the eye test. Everything, he is better than Sanchez, miles better than Sanchez. So when we go into next season with Sanchez as a number one again, and he is inevitably shit again, like, don't go blaming anyone else. Don't go getting pissy at anyone, because we had a keeper that was better, and you said it was fine to get rid of him. So that's cool.
You think this is foresight from the club? Like, what I'm meaning is this, right? Imagine you put the settings up to ultimate settings in FIFA, right? So you're playing that and you're like, fuck, this is hard, right? But then you get used to it after a while because you're playing on hard mode. So when you go back to like semi-pro, you're like, dude, I'm beating this man 10-0. So do you think we're doing this to our defenders? You know, like when Goku went into the time capsule. You know what I'm saying?
No, bro, this isn't the hyperbolic time chamber.
Like you know how Sanchez.
No, bro.
The hyperbolic
We're trying to logic it, and it's just not logicking.
You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, they have like super, like they get better.
Spell games. We're not running.
Exactly. Like to prepare
for. Bro. We're not doing that.
Maybe Sanchez is that, right? Where like he's so good now. It's like, oh, we didn't know he's like Saliba level.
No.
But once he gets a competent goalkeeper, he's like, oh, Saliba level.
Guys, no, to be clear, the time chamber analogy falls apart when you realize Vegeta let Cell absorb the other androids to power up because he wanted to fight a stronger person when he 100% could have just killed him right there. Okay? If this is some time chamber bullshit, we fucked up somewhere along the way. Okay? But no, you would never do that. That doesn't work. This isn't Dragon Ball Z. That can't happen.
CP. What?
And man didn't talk about Dragon Ball rubbish. Dragon Ball rubbish, man.
Okay, fucking edgy, probably Hunter x Hunter fan, fucking.
You know what I mean?
Come on, now,
Look at this.
Kamehameha of the game. Get the Kamehameha of the game.
Look at this edgy fuck, man. Good for you. I bet you feel happy. Go drink a
feel very
fucking
happy, man.
go drink a fucking
Listen.
vanilla oat milk frap, you fruitcake.
That is something you would have. That is something
That's actually
you would
something you would promise
you.
I don't drink oat milk. I actually hate oat milk, personally.
You know what?
I actually hate
I'm
oat
not
milk.
doing it. We're
Hey,
3.5 hours
Big
in.
opinions.
We're not
That's
letting
it,
Ahmed
man.
police what's cool. We're not fucking doing that shit. No. Ahmed doesn't get to dictate pop culture in
Nation.
any way, shape, or form. Fuck
Second
that
nation,
shit.
man. That's what I'm saying. If you know, you know.
To put this into, by the way, just going back to put this into like more football terms, CP. We
No,
how
you
good?
fucking,
How good?
no, Scott. No. I'm going on the chat now. You fucking weirdos. I don't even know what Hunter x Hunter is. I've never watched it. Fuck that shit. Okay? I don't know who these.
You don't know about them. You don't know about the Tehran. You don't know about Merwin.
Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter.
You know what I mean?
No, you want to know
That's
why?
the show.
You want to know why? Because when fucking Toonami was over at 9 p.m., I went to bed, and the next day I went outside like a real human being.
Oh my
Okay?
God.
We're not having anime talk. We're going outside and we're touching real grass, you freaks.
Oh shit, man.
Man, I'll continue with my point, Peter.
Yes.
Thank you. CP, going back and put this into football terms, how do you rate how our defense has performed this what's it called? This Club World Cup?
Well, I think Cole was like really stepped up. I would say he's like a top 10 defender in the league.
How would you say our defense performed against Fluminense?
I would say still pretty well.
Amazing. We nearly conceded because Sanchez is a moron.
I know.
That's true.
But see, we didn't know Cucurella had the goal and clearance ability of Thiago Silva until he had to do it.
Oh no, that's cool. Yeah, no, I agree. What I'm saying is, we could have the best centre backs in the world. Having that moron in goal doesn't it, bro? It just kills everything. Because all it takes is one moment of him being like genuinely like missing a chromosome level of stupid.
You don't get my logic. My logic is he's so shit that our defenders have to be so good that once we get a confident
this motherfucker's logic is unironically rise and grind harder.
Yeah, exactly. So
That's
my
what it is.
the logic is once we get
and this is the kind of stream logic you get.
Yeah.
Fucking
so once
3.5 hours into a stream. Okay,
That's
it's
fair.
not a real thought that CP has. I'm probably not gonna hold him to this, but his thought is unironically just grind harder, bros.
No. My logic is once we get a competent goalkeeper, our defense is going to look 10 times better because we've been having Sanchez. That's my.
He's an increased the rent, so I grind harder. He's that guy. This is insane.
Yeah, it fares. But yeah, like I said, like
I don't know. Maybe that's part of Project 2030. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Like fairs if this is the route they want to go, but like if it means when it means we have to suffer with Sanchez for another like couple of years, like it's just gonna happen that way, I guess. It has to happen. Like we're gonna have to suffer, and you're gonna have to accept that. Like if you accept and want this Petrovic sale to happen, cool. And you have to accept that when Sanchez is shit, you just can't complain.
No,
you don't get to complain.
Scott, can I quote a wise man? There was a wise man that I know, that I think we all know, 2 years ago, who said,
I swear to God. Go ahead.
Yeah, a wise man 2 years ago who said, "I want this fan base to suffer."
Oh,
God, do you know who that is? Scott, do you know who that is, Scott?
And
Scott,
CP,
do you know who I'm quoting, Scott?
And CP, as God is my witness, we will be there.
You freak!
We will be there. We will be there. Play the clip, Marshall. We will be there.
We'll be there. Do you care though? We'll be there.
We'll be there.
This
I'm
is
sat with a huge smile on my face.
Guys like Scott, man. First speak, man.
We will be there.
All right, ladies and gents.
Terrorists, man.
It's time to
You
wrap
gotta-
it up.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem we've got here. We've got guys here that don't love the game.
I gotta go
They
back.
don't love the badge.
Let's
They
wrap it up.
don't love the game. They don't love the badge.
Let's get the likes
You know
up.
what I
Let's
mean?
wrap it up.
This is the problem. You know what I mean? You got guys like Scott here hating,
Yeah, hold that.
on the club because he lost a player, and I'm getting cooked.
Wait,
for
hold
saying,
up.
I
You
was
wanna fight over an
Okay.
18-year-old.
And I was getting
Time
cooked.
out. Time out.
And I was getting cooked.
Time out.
I was saying, I want to get out yet about a player.
Time
That's
out.
all I have
Time
to
out.
say.
This guy was just Maresca over a literal teenager. Somebody who was born.
You guys cook me for that. We're not going to cook Scott for this.
Time
You're
out.
not cooking Scott
Time
for
out.
this.
No. You don't throw stones in a glass house, Ahmed. You literally took Maresca out 2 hours ago over a teenager. You hate the club.
It was 2 hours ago.
Scott might hate the club too, but let's start there. Okay, you don't get to police fan behavior being manager out over a guy in the Uber Eats league. I'm sorry. This is not how this works.
They bought a guy from the Uber Eats league too. What are you doing?
He's on our books though. He's our player.
Yeah. So what? He still was in the Uber Eats league.
What the fuck is my?
I don't know how you don't see the difference. A guy who's on our books compared to a guy who's never been on our books.
And we have to pay £2 million.
He could be on our books. That's the point.
Okay, you could also be on our books. That doesn't mean anything.
I hope that never happens.
Yeah, that would be terrible.
Marshall.
That's
what I'm saying.
That would be terrible.
I look forward.
Ahmed beat test for content.
I would really.
Ahmed beat test for content. Here we go, boys.
I look forward to the new season, Marshall.
I
man.
would travel to
There are
London
people
to
in
protest.
danger, man, for the
I will
new season.
protest. I will gather Chelsea fans with a common goal to
Here's what
get
we
you
need.
out of Chelsea, bro.
Yeah,
They will be the most organized Chelsea protest this club's history's ever had, man.
Ahmed beat
Players are
test.
in danger. That's what I'm gonna say.
Ahmed beat test. I will be there.
Oh my days. All right. Big up everybody. Smash up the like button if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Awesome stream. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Big up to every single one of you guys in the panel. Big up to every single one of you guys in the chat. If you haven't smashed up the like button, please, like I said, do so. It helps out with the channel's algorithm tremendously and with our growth on YouTube, which helps us towards our goal of getting to 5,000 subscribers. So help us out towards that goal. It would be amazing to hit that soon because, like I said, I have a big surprise for the channel once we hit that 5K point. Also, check out the links in the description for more content. Be sure to check out the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. Also, I forgot to say, leave a comment if you're watching this in the future. Let us know your favorite part of the show or your thoughts on any of the topics we discussed. 4 different tiers, 99p for memberships, and at the proper casual tier and higher, you get a shout out, and that's going to go out to Daniel, TM127, EE, Dark, Adrian, and Mr. A. Solomon. So big up to every single one of you. Have a wonderful night. We'll be back again Monday morning because I unfortunately will not be able to stream the reaction to the game after the game.
Wow.
And the only time I will have to do so will be Monday morning for me, which will be 1 p.m. UK time. It's an odd hour. I'll try to give you guys enough of a heads up so that you know when the stream is coming. But it's the only time I had. It might be a solo stream because some of the folks on the panel will not be available. But we'll see who's available and who will join in on the stream to react with me. But it's better than nothing, folks. Sorry, just my life is completely jam-packed with shows for the band or work. So it's the best I could do. But yeah, big up to every single one of you. No raid tonight because no one really to raid to. As always, have a wonderful night. Stay casual. And let's hope Chelsea win that
Call that
World
German
Cup.
forward.
All right.
Get out of my club.
Have a good night, guys. Peace.
Tuchel out.